Hey everybody. So on this episode of the podcast, I decided to edit the audio a little bit to make the listening experience a little bit easier for people who are listening to audio versions of the podcast. Now that it is available on Spotify and Apple Podcast, I've kind of realized that the ums and uhs and the weird background noises are very distracting. And I just wanted to test out by editing it for Spotify and Apple Podcast to make it a little bit more palatable. I cut out some ums and uhs, and I just tried to make the audio a lot better, but at the cost of the video. So there are going to be weird edits where, just clips are clearly taken out and pieces of audio are clearly removed. And maybe I won't do it next time. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. So if you're watching the video version, maybe just listen to the audio version. It's up to you. Tell me in the comments what you think. I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing this. Might not do it again. Anyways, enjoy the episode. Bye-bye. Hello.
What's up, bro?
Nothing much, bro. The volume is so loud. Oh, boy. All right. Finally. There's a lot to talk about on this episode. How have you been? How was your week?
Good.
That is good. That's always good to hear.
Chilling.
Nothing eventful. No fire alarms. Nothing fun.
Well, I've watched and completed 2 whole anime.
Oh, wowzers.
I know, it's huge for me.
Damn, you got the drip. I've never seen that jacket before. That jacket and that do-rag. These are new do-rags. I'm telling you. I went back when you were like...
Oh, my God.
when you were like, oh, I wore the pink do-rag.
Yeah, so...
What were you saying?
I watched 2 whole anime.
You watched 2 whole anime.
Yeah, I watched... What did I watch?
Tsundere Children? Did you finish it?
Oh, that's 3.
Can't believe you forgot about that. Yeah.
I watched Tsundere Children. I watched The Devil Was a Part-Timer.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched Haganai, I Don't Have Many Friends.
I have to look that one up. I'll do it on my thingy right here. Haganai, I Don't Have Many Friends.
And I think about it, like, all those shows, those 3 shows,
Mm-hmm.
I could have just watched all of Nana, like, instead of watching those 3 shows.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. 50 episode anime. Exhausting. But how were they?
But, so, Tsundere Children is fantastic.
So it's not Tsundere Children.
Tsundere.
How do you spell that? Tsundere.
Instead of the D, put an E. I mean, put a Z. A Z.
Oh, okay.
Ali,
yeah.
Your show is good.
Really?
12 episodes, but the episodes are 12 minutes long.
Interesting. That gives me a little bit more inclination to watch it.
I watched it, and I left upset because I wanted more episodes.
So is it a comedy?
It's a comedy romance, but it's actually funny.
Okay.
It's actually funny, and it's like 7 different relationships. There's like 4 main ones. I was like that covers like four different relationships, and you will see like the daily shit. Their relationships are so different. One of them ended up in like this huge misunderstandings, which led them both into the friend zone when they don't want to be. That's kind of funny. One of them is like a tsundere, but the dude is like completely controls her. It's pretty cool. One of them like is a shy girl and shy guy. And, one of them is like the girl was like this is rare to see. The girl's actually pressing the guys like, yo, why don't you make a move on me? Why don't you kiss me? Why don't you try to have sex with me? Like he's just like a pussy.
Yeah.
It's really, I think it's really good. It was funny. It was actually funny, and I think it's worth your time.
All right.
If you ever want a romance comedy, I recommend that one.
I will check it out. I guess it's on Funimation for now, but when it comes to Crunchyroll, I guess when Funimation gets atom bombed.
That one's good. Devil was a part-timer.
Mm-hmm.
is
Oh,
mid.
Yeah. I had a feeling you'd say that.
It brings up interesting questions like, not really.
If the devil was a part-timer, what would happen?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's like nothing really happens. It's just hanging out.
Is it, I guess the two questions to ask are, is it cute and is it funny? Because from what I can see from what I can tell, that's all it's trying to be.
It's not cute.
And
it is funny.
Okay.
Not as funny as Soon Said Children, but they just hang out, and then like the main female with the red hair is like,
yeah,
the devil trying to kill her family and her whole village, like try to kill her in their world. But when they got isekai, it's like a reverse isekai. They got isekai to our world. Yeah. And now she's like, at the start she's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, blah blah blah, and the devil's just like, dude, I'm just chilling, bro. Like, I work at McDonald's. And then the devil was like, why does the devil work at McDonald's? Because other dudes from the other university and like come like, what are you doing? Yeah. He's like, bro, I'm trying to like become shift manager. It's like,
that sounds really cute. That sounds fun.
It is funny, and I only watch it because the next season comes out in summer.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really just set myself up to watch another thing. I'm gonna watch season 2. But this is kind of good.
Yeah, just to add something to your weekly list or whatever.
Only season 2, it makes it better. But I also watched Haganai. I don't have many friends.
Yeah.
I watched this because I wanted to just watch a short 12-episode thing. And like halfway through like the first season, I realized this is season 2. I'm like, damn, I have to watch season 2. And I ended up watching all of season 2.
Yeah.
This show is ass. Nafu or My Teen Romantic Comedy.
My Teen, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that show, but ass.
Yeah, and that show, but ass, is like the most cliche romancy shit. Yeah. Like, because that show already kind of falls into that, but it's like, from what I hear, it has really good writing and stuff and characters that you like, but this doesn't even have that.
Yeah. The show, I don't even know why these shows have a romance tag on it, because no romance ever happens. It's just like these two girls like the MC. The MC knows that, and he's just like avoiding it because he just want to mess up their friend group, right?
Yeah.
So like, but throughout the whole show, like they barely show instances of like romance. It's just like she gets jealous, and at the end, they're like, "Oh, I like you," and he's like, "I know you like me, but I like our friend group, and I don't want to ruin it."
Yeah.
As then the show ends.
Yeah. that sounds that sounds like basic anime shit.
Yeah.
Cookie cutter.
But it's good to watch ass. It's good to watch ass.
Yeah, you need to watch ass every now and then to make you appreciate the good things. Like the lowest show on your list that I've watched that's like closest to the bottom is Orange, which was like the one. I don't even know if you remember that show.
I remember Orange.
Yeah. And
I don't really think it's that bad, but that show pissed me off.
well, do you want to like talk about that like for a second?
I don't know why. It's been years. I don't remember. I remember being mad at the end, so I just hated it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think it's that bad though.
Okay. I was gonna compare and contrast because it feels like there's a lot of shows where it's just niggas hanging out at school and someone likes someone, and if you don't do something unique and you don't even have like likable characters at the bare minimum, it feels like that's like what makes these things bad.
These shows are all about us beating around the bush to episode 12.
Yeah, and it's repetitive and it's cliche, but if you do it well, then I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely can't pull it off, but
yeah,
there needs to be something interesting going on, like not just I got homework, like we got a test tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. What is the best show like that you have seen?
Like the people hanging out.
Specifically school relationship shit.
Wow. What's that show that just came out? Love or War. Love or War is actually good.
Okay, yeah.
Love or War. My Teen Romantic Comedy. I have to look at my list, but there's a couple. Bro.
Yeah, Love is War is kind of like there's like subsections of genre. There's isekai, there's romantic shit, there's like I don't know. There's all these subsections of anime, and it feels like Kaguya-sama, when it comes to the school relationship shit, is at the peak of like that genre. Like it's the thing that, hey, even if you don't like this, you should watch this because this is like the best one out of all of the ones like that. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's that third season's coming out this thing too.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I watched.
That's what you watched. Okay, I watched a couple things as well. I watched a movie called Enter the Void. It's only been a week, so we don't have much to talk about. But I watched a movie called Enter the Void, which is a super, ultra, mega, try-hard, artsy-fartsy movie. And yeah, you know, you have with these movies, it's a gamble of like, am I going to be bored or am I going to be like, or is this going to be like one of the best experiences ever? And with this movie, it was a little bit of both. It's very hard to explain. This movie it feels like a movie that was made for people who are like on acid. And it's really cool. I don't know how much I want to say about it, but it's one of the most trippy out of body experiences I've had watching a movie. And that's not an exaggeration to say out of body. It was ethereal. And it's one of those movies that might be boring if you watch it, but I'd recommend that movie. It's talked about by a lot of people, and it's one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. It's not like automatically 10 out of 10 one of my favorite movies, but it's a movie that I enjoyed a lot.
Okay.
And I would recommend that. Enter the Void. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and it might go up to like an 8 one day. And then I watched a Bruce Lee movie called Game of Death. And you know Kill Bill, right? Like, you know like on the poster of the first movie, like the yellow outfit she has and like the jumpsuit or whatever. That's like a reference to when Bruce Lee wore the yellow thing with the black line. And this Bruce Lee movie that I watched is that movie where he wears the yellow outfit. And have you ever seen like a Bruce Lee joint ever?
No.
Me neither. So this was my first experience, and it was not the best experience because Game of Death, which is the name of this movie, is a movie that was made after Bruce Lee passed away. So it did not get completed. And Bruce Lee, I've never seen his other movies, so I don't really know how the other movies fare when it comes to this process. But basically, Bruce Lee did the fights, and they were like, what's the story for the fight? And he's like, I don't know. I just want to do the fight. So he made the fight, and there was no story for the fight. So they were like, well, I guess we'll make a story out of this like one really good like 10-minute fight. So it's like a 2-hour movie where there is a stand-in person who is not Bruce Lee, but pretending to be Bruce Lee until you get to those last 10 minutes where it really is him. And it's so comically bad. It is so laughably dog shit because we do that kind of now, like today, like we CGI like real people into movies sometimes, and it's very questionable whether we should be doing that. But the excuse that people make nowadays when they put like a CGI guy who passed away into like Star Wars, it's like, oh, well, he's dead now, so like we're doing it to honor him and da-da-da-da. Like that's at least the idea behind it. And that was the idea behind this movie, but like the Bruce Lee movie, but it's so much worse than the Bruce Lee movie because it's so old and there's no visual effects in 1970. So they had to there's a lot of like comically dog shit stuff in the movie. And the guy who like is a stand-in for Bruce Lee, they show his face like all the time, and he doesn't look anything like Bruce Lee. And it's like, oh my God, it's really, really bad. But you know, the intention, you can tell that like when the movie ends, they do a montage of Bruce Lee and like all of his old movies. So you can tell that, yeah, maybe they're being money hungry and maybe they're making this movie because they want to, you know, get Bruce Lee's like name to like sell a movie. But at the end, they did a montage and it was like, rest in peace, Bruce Lee. So maybe there was some like level of heart put into it. But regardless, it was a really shit movie. But honestly, the fight where Bruce Lee actually rose up is fucking amazing. Like, I've never seen a Bruce Lee fight in completion, but it's so good. It's like a fucking anime. He's so cool. He has like just this energy. You go "Hua, hua, 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 hua," and it's really cool. Like, and honestly, like, I would literally recommend that you go on YouTube and you just look up Bruce Lee Game of Death, like the whole fight, because in the movie, like, the context that the movie breathes into the fight isn't even that good to begin with, but like the fight itself works so well on its own, you know. And it's, you know, it's like a fight. It's like a full-on fight. It's not like a ninja scroll, like 1-2 punch. It's like, I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes and I'm gonna fight this guy. And I could go more in depth. Like, the fight is him. He's going up. You know, I said this about Ninja Scroll, but I love when they like structure it like a boss battle. So he's like going up these stairs and he meets there's like a samurai ninja dude, and he's like sitting like this, sitting right there. And then he gets up and he whips out some nunchucks, and Bruce Lee's like, and Bruce Lee whips out his nunchucks that like match with his outfit. And he's like, and they have like a nunchuck battle, and it looks so good. And then Bruce Lee beats him with his nunchucks, and then he goes up and then he fights another guy. I don't remember what this guy's gimmick was, but then he beats that guy, and then he goes up, and the final boss is like the tallest man I've ever seen. It's like he looks like a titan, and he's like this really tall black guy, and Bruce Lee's like, oh shit, okay. Bruce Lee runs at him. The black guy is like sitting in the chair. He takes his fucking leg and he just kicks Bruce Lee across the room like a fucking anime. I'm like, oh my god. And somehow, despite how tall this guy is, Bruce Lee is like having a full-on fight with this super tall, twice his size black guy. And spoiler alert, Bruce Lee beats him, and it's fucking awesome, and it's really fun.
But the black guy wearing blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That black guy, he's 7'2", but
holy shit.
He's a basketball legend. NBA Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's literally like the second best basketball player of all time.
Really? I had a feeling he was someone famous, but I didn't know. Dude, that fight was cool.
When you said that, I saw black guy. I was like, I've seen something.
Yeah. I knew that if you hadn't seen the fight itself, you'd probably seen like a picture of it or like a thumbnail on YouTube. So yeah, watch it, like, because you don't really need the context of the movie. It doesn't aid the fight at all. It's just really cool on its own. It's Bruce Lee fighting a big black guy, and I love it. And I'm gonna watch other Bruce Lee movies because I hear they're better. He's very cool. I understand why people like him.
I got an NBA player to fight Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I know. Really cool.
And interesting.
Yeah. So watch that. Bruce Lee is a cool fella. And then I watched the 2 Attack on Titan live action movies, which a lot of people famously dislike. I watched the first one in high school, actually, when it came out, like online. And I thought it was stupid in high school. But I watched it today, and I still thought it was like pretty lame and bad. But I honestly think the second one is really good. I really like the second Attack on Titan live action movie, which is a very hot take. A lot of people think that one's like even worse. And I don't know if you would like it, but just take into account that I think it's great. There's a lot more like Titan fighting in that one, because that's when Eren like transforms, and in the second one they like make up their own story because it's the second movie, so they have to like do their own thing. And I like that they do their own thing. I like that they don't just copy the anime. And because it's like Eren and like another Titan like fighting each other, it's like tokusatsu Power Rangers kind of like dudes in suits, da. And I think that's really fun, and I think it's cool to do that in the universe of Attack on Titan. And I like the second movie. Unironically, it's pretty cool. So that is all I watched because it's only been a week and we haven't had much time elsewhere. And then I was just grinding through fucking Attack on Titan and the movies that we needed to watch for the show. And we were gonna record this on Wednesday, but then Attack on Titan wanted to fucking, not air on Sunday, ruining our whole plan. But it didn't end today. Season 4 Part 2 ended today, and they just announced like an hour before the episode aired, like, guys, Season 4 Part 3 coming out next year. So I guess we'll talk about it regardless of the fact that it's not over. I would like to start with Attack on Titan because it's just the most important thing that we need to talk about out of like the other movies. I don't really want to wait to discuss that. So, yeah.
Well, I think the latest episode was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So interesting. It was like, I like how Mikasa was like, was he always like this?
Yeah.
Like, and she ponders and she looks back, and Aaron's always like when they landed there, just like stems back all the way to when they first got to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like playing in the water, like,
yeah.
Aaron, look, and he's just like, the enemy's over there.
Yeah.
And like they make a nod to it because he's like, yeah, like we're across the sea where the enemy is.
I know.
I was like, that's fire. And then, he's just like, he just looks off. Mikasa notices it, but just chalks up to nothing. And then, I guess now she realized, like, yo, he was like planning to do this shit for a while now. Like,
yeah.
I like how she was like, if I had said something different that day, would he still be bugging?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this episode was really cool. I love when they go back like this.
Mm-hmm.
We never seen when they like landed in Marley.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
This week was one of the best episodes of the season.
Yeah, I think that for me, Attack on Titan season 4 is like moments like that where it's like, oh, this thing that they're saying now connects to something they said in like season 2 or da-da-da-da. I feel like that is consistent throughout the entire like thing, like I just watched the entire thing like back to back over the course of like 2 weeks. So it's all like super fresh in my head. So like every single line, every single moment that any character utters, I'm like, oh, that's that, and this that, and it's all really good. Yeah, bottom line, season 4 is great. I didn't get spoiled on like any of it. So this is like my first experience like with the entire thing, and I was like, oh my god, like season 4 part 1 when Eren was in their city and he was doing what Reiner was doing to him, I was like, oh my god, this is the best show ever made. Like I literally said, I like typed in my notes like in all caps, Eren is the best anime character of all time. And we got to see what happens, but I fucking love Eren. Eren is one of my favorite characters ever.
Absolutely.
He's fucking Joker.
The shit, yeah. The shit he's been up to is so fascinating.
I know.
And like, is he wrong? Is he right? Everyone online on Aaron's side. So am I.
Me too. Yeah. It's written very well. It's written very well. Like the Attack on Titan has like incredible foreshadowing. I know I mentioned this before. Like, there's like a 40-minute YouTuber just foreshadowing from like season 1 to season 2. Watching season 1, like it's insane. There's so much that they don't talk about anymore. Like there are lines like when Eren first transformed into a Titan, like inside the walls, when like it was just his hand and he was like defending Mikasa and Armin from the bullet, it cuts to Reiner and Reiner's like, oh my god, fuck, like, and it's like, oh shit, like that's so crazy.
Bro,
yeah,
like that's so fire.
Yeah,
there's so many moments like that. Like before you even know Eren is the Attack Titan, that time when they're training, and then like he slams his head on the ground, and then after like he's healing, there's smoke coming out his head, bro.
Yeah,
like that Titan heal.
That's so cool.
Like this shit like that. And then one of my favorite moments was like when I remember Bertolt and Reiner were like at this post with Ymir and Christina, right? Or Historia. And then like Ymir coming from where they're from, she reads she's reading this label in a different language, and Ryan's like, how do you know? How can you read that?
Yeah.
And then that, and when like the tower, like when they get flooded, and the towers about to come down, like you see Bertolt in the back about to like turn into like a colossus.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
It's so dope, bro. Like
so
you know,
dope.
like there's no way you catch that, you know,
the first time.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
But going back, I can't wait to rewatch the show. Dude. Because like I'm gonna catch all of that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, Attack on Titan, the fourth channel is great. I love how like I love what you said, like how it all ties in, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just even like when Aaron said, "Yeah, across the sea," I was like,
"Yeah."
Like you did not have to say that. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it's so dope.
Yeah.
Like this season was incredible. Like the whole, the highlight was him getting his head blown off.
I know. I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck!" Like that blew my mind. I was so scared.
You know, you get to see the actual Ymir's background and how the Titans came about. Why the walls and name Rose Maria, another one.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that fucking episode was insane because you think he's like gonna kill everybody that whole time, and when he's in that mode where he's like partnering with Zeke, I'm like into it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Like I like this new Eren. I'm digging this. But for them to drop that and be like, no, Eren never changed. Our nigga is the same. He wants to kill everybody. It's like, yes, let's go. Like it works. It works well.
Yeah, it's done well because you really don't know like what he's thinking because he's rarely shown. Mm-hmm. So you don't really know what he's doing in the background. All right. So when it comes to light, it's fire. You know, like when he's in the other world, and then like he's in the handcuffs and he rips like his thumbs off. Yeah. Hugs Ymir. He's like. He was like, you was waiting for me like 2,000 years. Remember I told you that?
Yeah,
this is like the first episode of the show's called From You 2,000 Years. Yeah. You've been waiting for 2,000 years. Mm-hmm. And then, she sees her face for the first time. Mm-hmm. He becomes the demon he is now. Like, and even the shit after, like, you know, the rumbling begins. He turns into that monster form. And like now, like, I like how the show, like, just didn't give you, like, the rumbling like right there. Now they're gonna show like what's happening in between the walls. Like we finally get to see fucking the female Titan.
Yeah, I know she's back.
She's looking like 2016.
I know.
No, she's back now. She like that. It was dope. Like my boys at work, they also I put them onto the show. Now they're watching it with me, and they're like, "Whoa, I don't care about these hackers. I want what's Eren do?"
Wow, really? That's like, very surprising.
Like Mikasa just went crazy last episode. Like, when she's like fighting all those dudes. Like it was awesome. Mm-hmm. It's just so much to talk about. Like every episode is such like a breakdown, you know. But
it is.
All in all, like
it's very dense.
Part 2 is so action packed. It was so good, and like just the information drop is with Ymir, with Eren, Zeke, and everyone. And Levi's back now. Mm-hmm. The show is just so interesting. Like, it's incredible. I really do think it's like the best show of all.
Yeah, I completely understand. I understand why people love this show. I love it too. It's not like my favorite show, but it's up there. It's very, very high.
It's not done.
I know. I wonder how it's going to end. And I wonder if the ending will change how I feel. Because if Eren kills everybody, then I'm not going to be sad. If they kill Eren, I also don't think I'm going to be sad. I think I'm going to like either ending. So I don't really feel like this show can fail.
But we don't know because, like, you know, the last 2 episodes, what's the female Chinese name?
Annie. Yeah.
They're like, Annie's like crying. She's like, Mikasa, if I try to kill Eren, are you gonna stop me? And Mikasa's just like doesn't answer.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to have to fight you guys anymore. And like, I know, Mikasa. I feel like my prediction is someone's gonna try and like kill Eren, and Mikasa's gonna come last second and save him. He's gonna be like, Mikasa, why? He's gonna destroy the world. But, you know, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Really? My prediction is that Mikasa might kill Eren. I feel like they're setting up for that maybe. But only time will tell.
What do you think about when Aaron beat up fucking
beat up Armin?
Yeah.
In the moment, that's before he goes to like the other world and he reveals that he was, you know, doing it all for them and he still loves his friends and he's like killing everybody else, but he's not like doing the euthanization plan. At the time, in the moment, when it's him doing the euthanization thing, I was fine with it because it was consistent with what he was doing and his character, and I was already into that. But after the fact, when I think about how the reveal that Eren wasn't a part of Zeke's plan, it recontextualizes a lot of moments that come prior when he was being like a, like, you know, euthanization plan kind of guy. And some of the ways it recontextualizes, like, oh, Eren was pretending and he was faking it the whole time. Oh my God, he's so cool for not telling anyone about it, the whole like thing. And that moment is not one of those moments where I can really understand, like, I've thought about that, like, why did he do that? You know?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to distance himself from them because
yeah,
I think he knows that they wouldn't go with the plan, the real plan.
Right.
So I think he's trying to distance himself. Like when he tells Mikasa, like, I always hated you.
Yeah.
You know he's not telling the truth right there. I feel like he's really just trying to like distance himself.
Yeah. I feel that way too.
I thought when that happened, I was like mind blown. I was like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah.
I just got beat the fuck up.
Yeah. It actually it's actually like synonymous with Ymir, because I just watched it. Ymir at the end of season 2, when Krista, like, when she's like she like lies to Krista and she's like, I lied to you, like I was using, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of like, I never really liked you, you're not really my friend, I was just using you so I could bring you to like Reiner and Bertolt's thing or whatever, get it? Like I said, I only care about myself because that's my whole thing. And then Krista was kind of like how Mikasa is to Eren, where she's like, okay, that's fine, Ymir, I still love you, I'll do whatever like I need to do. And it's so good because one of the main themes is like about how your connections with one another and your friendships are not going to be impervious to some of the things that you have to do in the future, like in this show. Eren has to like kill all these people and he has to distance himself from Mikasa in order to do that. Ymir has to defend like Krista kind of. So I don't remember exactly the context of that situation, but you know, it's cool how sometimes they cannot be honest to their friends in order to help their friends.
Right.
And it's consistent in the show. It's very good.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much, you know.
Yeah, there's too much to talk about.
Like, so much. Like, each season is just like...
Boom, boom, boom.
Like, especially like season 3, part 2, and like, oh my God. Like, that season is like...
Yeah. Incredible.
Like, that's when Levi fights the Beast Titan. They get to the basement and they find out everything. Oh my God, season! But you haven't seen that before, right? The Levi versus the Beast Titan.
No, I haven't. That was like the first time. I avoided it deliberately because I was like, I want to watch this like when it happens in the show, and it looked great. It lasted 2 seconds, but that was kind of the point. Yeah, that was cool.
I love their rivalry, Levi and Zeke.
I know it was so good in season 4. Like I loved it in season 4.
Yeah, and like that season 3 part 2 moment is crazy because Erwin's speech leading his dudes out to death. It was just like
it was so.
And he was like, Levi, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, no, Levi couldn't like drop this chance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke looks to his right. He's like, all his tanks are on the ground.
Yeah.
Levi comes bloodied up.
Yeah.
That shit was so epic. He like puts the sword in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was fire. Another major moment. I think you've seen it before, but when Reiner and Bertolt
reveal themselves.
Yeah, like I watched that shit.
over and over.
I rewatch it with full context and I still get goosebumps, bro.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like Aaron's face. Aaron's just like, what are you guys talking about?
The music is so good. And rewatching the show, like they play like Attack on a lot of anime do this, but Attack on Titan does it a lot. They'll play like an instrumental song where it's just the instruments, and then they'll do like a lyrical version like at some point later in the show. When Reiner, Eren, and Bertolt, you might not even remember it in season 1, but there's like a whole like scene where it's just them and they go to like a mountain and they're like talking to each other and they're talking about their ideals, and Reiner's like, I'm gonna go back to my hometown no matter what, and it's like, oh fuck, with the context, and they're playing the song that they play when Bertolt and Reiner reveal themselves in season 2. So like, I don't know if I know you're not like, you don't listen to music all the time, but like that song that they play, I literally listen to like constantly. So when I heard it in season 1, I was like, what the fuck? No way. And then in season 4, when he meets Reiner in his place, they play the song again, and it's like, oh my god, it's the other way around this time because it's Eren going to the oh, it's so fucking good. Yeah. It's so good.
It's crazy because when they meet in season 4, and it's like, you think Eren's just chilling, you know, he does the handshake, he's like, well, I'm gonna keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And he blows up the building.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's when shit started going fucking. And Mikasa comes, he's like, Eren, you just fucking killed all those people. And he's just like,
yeah,
looking like Batman.
The show's so good.
It's, you know, there's just so many moments, and I love how like the show, even like the side characters, not even like the side characters, I love how they show up in season 4. You know, when Connie and Armin go to the dock and save the boat. Yeah, and you're like, I didn't recognize them, but they're actually like in season 1. They are in the earlier seasons, and it's like, and they were saying like, yo, like, we're supposed to be friends, bro.
Yeah. Watching like season 1, like watching it all back to back, I immediately recognized him. Like, I was like, oh my god, that's Dawes from season 1. Like, because, you know, it's really cool, and it's crazy that they killed him. Like, he was a main character. Like, not main, but he was part of the squad. He was there like all the time. And it's very cool that they showed him at the end.
Flock became like a main character in himself.
I know. It's like Game of Thrones. I know you've never seen Game of Thrones, but the reason why whenever people say something's like Game of Thrones is because there are so many characters, and no matter how small they are, they do matter in the grand scheme of things. And there is an entire like video essay that can be made on like every single character. Like, they're all so realistic and like dynamic, and they're so believable. Like, I love all the characters, and Attack on Titan is just very well written in that sense. They all like have different philosophies and different beliefs, and they all act differently. Every single character is cool. Even like Sadie's, like they gave Sadie's his own backstory like episode. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. And when in season 3, when they reveal that Sadie's is the dude in episode 1, with like the hair, I was like, oh my god, I didn't notice that. That's so dope. Yeah, Attack on Titan's really good. Everything was planned from the beginning.
Yeah, literally. It's so well done. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I can write paragraphs and paragraphs about each season.
Yeah. Fucking Alexander basically did that. You know, he basically like made his whole channel around that.
I literally can't wait to rewatch this show in its full glory, you know? Yeah. Oh my god.
It feels like it was meant to be viewed in one chunk, honestly. Like, it's paced so well. Season 2 and season 1, I realized like while watching it, they are technically, well, not, I don't want to be objective, but like to me, they are the same arc. Like, season 2 is not a different part of the story compared to season 1, because if you watch them back to back, you'll realize, oh yeah, this is like the same bit, you know? Because right after the fight with Annie, it's like the same day that all that shit happens. And something that I thought was so interesting. Oh my God, I'm so glad I remember this. Season 2 takes place over the course of an entire day. There's no time jumps. There's no cuts. It's like the beginning of the season, the sun goes down. The end of the season, the sun comes up. It's like, oh my God. It's like, actually, no. The sun goes down. It comes up in the middle. And then at the very end, during the final battle, the sun goes down again. So it's like, holy shit. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's dope. I never realized that.
Yeah. I loved it.
There's so much, man. But one of my favorite scenes is like, Levi and his versus uncle. I forgot to do his name.
Kenny.
When Kenny pulls up. That fight they have, that initial fight when Kenny pulls up.
Yeah, it's so good.
When they he's flying through the city, is animated like
extremely well.
Well, like anything Levi does is always animated well.
Yeah,
they bump up the budget for him.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, man. But I mean, I can keep on going, but in general, it feels like it's like perfection. Honestly.
Yeah. There is so much to talk about that if we wanted to do our homework, it could fill a whole episode, but I just wanted to talk about season 4 briefly to see what you thought. I think, do you have a favorite character? Have you thought about that?
I haven't, actually. Probably Aaron, the way he's moving now.
Yeah.
I really like John.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. That's my favorite character. That's who I consider my favorite. Really? I can fucking see why. He gets so much attention. He gets so much focus. He is the coolest character because he's so real. He's a normal guy where like he doesn't really know exactly what to think, and he has to kind of like go through the process of like, well, Aaron's kind of right, but he's also kind of wrong. Like, you know, he's not like very one-sided. He really thinks about everything, and he's like Aaron's foil, you know, like Sasuke and Naruto, Bakugo and Izuku. Like, it's Eren and Jean. And Jean, he doesn't keep his asshole like mentality. He stays like the good person, like slowly, and he constantly says like, oh my God, bro, I wish I could just like not be who I am. I wish I could just like be in the interior, not have to worry about this. But
that interior is dope.
It's
he's
so
like dreaming of him being in the interior.
Jean is genuinely the best character and it was so interesting because Alexander just made a video on him. Like, it's his most recent video. Jean, in season 1, Jean's development from like being a military police to being like genuinely helpful in the scouts is so heartwarming, and it's so cool. And him and Eren like become real ass friends, like real like buddies, even though they still like kind of fight. Like you can tell that Jean cares for him because they like help each other in fights. And Jean has like saved them many times. Like, he comes up with the plans and stuff, you know, like even in season 3 part 2, like, you know, like Armin's like, Jean, I can't do this. You take the lead. And Jean's like, I can't do this, Armin. You're like the guy with the big brain ideas. I can react to like certain scenarios, but I'm not like you. He's so good. He's amazing. And yeah, like Marco, they keep flashing back to it, but Marco like said something in season 1 that like resonated with Jean, where it's like you can understand the weak, which makes you, I don't know, which makes you like connect with people more or something. And it works so well for his character. One thing that I loved in season 4, like one moment, like when they're playing like the iconic song from season 2, where it's like, we gotta get up, and they're playing the song when all of Zeke's Titans like come up, and everyone has to put on ODM gear, and they see Pixies as like a Titan, and they're like, oh fuck, holy shit. It shows Armin and Mikasa like, I don't know, and Jean like steps in front of the camera. He's like, guys, come on, let's go. And they're like, okay, Jean. And it's like, and it's so good because he did that in season 3 when everyone hesitated to like kill Reiner. Like despite all the shit Reiner's done, like it's like, all right, go now, and everyone's like, I don't know if I can kill Reiner, and she's like, what the fuck are you waiting for? Let's fucking go. And he's the best. He's my favorite character. If you watch it back to back, you'll love him. I guarantee it. You'll get every moment. It'll like wind into each other. He's fantastic.
He is really good.
Yeah.
And also, we even bring up the second biggest part of the season when Eren talks to his dad through his memories.
Dude, oh my god, that shit was awesome.
That's like one of the, like, for me, that's like one of the craziest anime moments I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like I was so mind blown. Like just alone, I was mind blown off like the titles of the episodes, like the 2,000 years thing. Like I was mind blown. Then when I saw that, I literally lost my mind. Like, because it was because you never seen his dad like that. Where it was like,
get the full context.
Like when he killed the royal family, he was like, I can't kill kids, and like they never show you that. Yeah, and then you see Eren fucking talk to this dude.
Yeah, like
And it's insane because it all ties back to when in season 3 when he kisses Historia's hand. That's what he sees, you know, like him talking to his dad. So, ever since that's when like everything really started. That's when everything was in motion, you know. Yeah. And that's how you know, like Eren, because of that moment, Eren already knew what was gonna happen, so he had everything in the bag. So like when you thought he got tricked by Zeke. Yeah. Like. He looks like he's like so like he's like, I got tricked, and then like he's not tricked at all because when they get out the dream, he's just standing like and it just rips his hands off. But man, that scene, even that scene where he's like when his dad leaves the house when they're kids and shit, like episode 1. Yeah, he's like he shows his necklace like I'm gonna show you the basement one day. Yeah, I went back to episode 1 to see it and like. To see, because you know how in the memories he was looking at adult Eren. And in episode 1 they don't actually show you his face because like they knew this is gonna lead up to this moment, so they couldn't show you his face looking at kid Eren. Yeah. So actually, like it actually ties into like the other scene. Yeah. And then he started talking to Zeke. He's like, Zeke, is that you? It's crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah. I saw an explanation about it, but it's like. Whenever Eren looks at his dad, he can see Eren's memories. So he can see Zeke through Eren, Eren looking at him. Right. It's insane.
That's so cool.
He's like, Zeke, you gotta stop Eren.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it was good because like Zeke was like Zeke always hated his dad because of the shit he did.
I know. Yeah.
You like feeling for him.
It's really interesting because Zeke was the bad guy, and like when that happens, Eren is now the bad guy and Zeke is kind of now the good guy, but you really empathize with Eren because Eren's motivation is at the core of why of like season 1 and season 2, like the whole show is built around Eren like wanting to be free from the walls, wanting to go see the ocean, wanting to befriend his friends, and him doing that again. Like, even though he has to kill like innocent people, you empathize with that because that's like that was the whole point of the show, you know?
Yeah. He told his dad to get up.
Get up, kill those babies.
That was like that's one of the craziest things I've seen in anime. Like, for real. Because that sets the whole story in motion. You know, like if that didn't happen, the story wouldn't happen. Right. He wouldn't, because that night is the same night he got the attack serum. Yeah. And you think about it, it's like, why would his dad give him the serum after he just said, Zeke, stop Eren? It was like, Grisha didn't know that. That's his name, right? Yeah, Grisha didn't know that his mom or his wife just got fucking killed by Titans. Now he's like probably thought, yeah, I know what Eren's trying to do. He's doing this for like revenge and like for his mom, and like he thought about it, like, yeah, Eren, take this shit. Yeah, it's dope because I thought about it. I was like, why would he give him the the attack power if he just said you gotta stop him, but
yeah,
he didn't know his wife got killed.
Yeah, and it's a very good show. I'm like speechless, you know.
It's like for real, like that moment it's the whole show. Like the show would not happen if Aaron didn't tell him to do that. You know.
Yeah, I love what this show is trying to say, and it's like it says all of it in that episode. It's the question of like world peace or accepting the fact that we're all human beings and just trying to be like the best human being, fight for your herd, fight for your squad, right? Like what do you try to achieve? And based on everything that we've seen up until this point, we have been told like fight for your squad, like, you know, be patriotic, die for your country, die for your family. And then the movie's telling us like, well, what about other families? What are we going to do about that? Like, I guess we should just try to kill like all the people that might cause trouble, the Eldians or whatever. And like, you know, the fighting will stop, at least like when it comes to fighting with the Titans. And Aaron's just like, no, that's not fair. And you as an audience, you're like, Aaron, that might be bad. But then Aaron's like, I was born into this world. And I was like, yes, because that's what he says in season 1. That's like his catchphrase. And it's so good. It's so good. That's what I tell people whenever I do something bad. It's like, Ali, how could you say that to that person? It's like, because I was born in this world. I fucking love that shit.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
great.
You know, it's like, Aaron, wouldn't you kill yourself to save everybody? And it's like, no, because me and my friends deserve to exist just as much as everybody else does, you know?
Yeah.
To me, everyone is wrong and Aaron is right. Like, wars are going to happen. Wars are inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to, yeah, people are going to get fucked. There's probably some kid in the Attack on Titan universe that's going like through like a Grave of the Fireflies scenario, but tough shit, bro. That's the world. What are you going to do? You know?
Yeah, it's true.
And Aaron gets that. And I love when they were like, why is Aaron doing this? And then like, I think Gene says it. I think Gene's like, he's doing it for us because he loves us. And it's like, oh my God, that's so fire. Yeah. Aaron is one of the best anime characters of all time. Seriously.
Yeah.
And also another part to connect to this conversation, when Aaron, this might be my favorite part in the show, when Aaron like went to Reiner's place and he was talking to Reiner and they're listening to the guy's speech like through the little vent. The guy says in his speech, and it's like, we need to save ourselves and we need to fight them. We need to fight the Titans because we were born into this world. And Aaron like he like blinks. He's like, what the fuck? Oh shit. He says what I say, you know? And it's so good because Aaron, I love that scene so much because Aaron's not mad at Reiner anymore. He's not like Reiner's like, bro, I remember you said like, you're going to kill me like the most gruesome way. And Aaron's like, yeah, like, you can just forget that I said that. Like, I am going to kill you, but I'm doing it more so out of necessity, less out of vengeance kind of thing. Like, I have to kill you because I was born into this world. And he was telling Reiner, like, we're the same, bro, you and I. And it's so good. Reiner cannot accept like the duality in his existence, but Aaron has just accepted it and is like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about you. I only care about my friends. It's so good.
Yeah, that whole scene was crazy.
That's my favorite scene in the entire show.
Reiner is like so like afraid in that scene, you know?
Yeah.
It's in the cover of season 4, you know, and Aaron is towering over Reiner in his place now. Yeah. It's dope. Yeah. Actually, I actually want to rewatch that scene.
Yeah, and it's
there's so much little things, you know, like that scene where Grisha first gets his power from the eagle guy. I forgot it was the eagle, the owl.
Yes, that was so. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
He was like, "How was you gonna save Mikasa?" And
Armin.
Armin. He's like, who's that?
I was like, I don't know.
He's like, oh, it's like I seen Memories or something.
Yeah.
That shit blew me away.
Yeah,
and I didn't even know the context.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That scene, like, without context is insane.
Mm-hmm.
With context, it's like even crazier.
Yeah. It's
because he's like, how else would you save them? Because if you don't do this, then Aaron won't get the shit.
Yeah.
And Aaron won't save the world.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah. It's so good.
oh my God, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, and Aaron was like, yo, remember what they did to your sister? I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I forgot the time where, like, the dogs ate her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Ate her sister.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, man.
It's fucking great.
It's one of the best.
Yeah, it's
It's not the best.
yeah. What do you feel about the animation in season 4? Because it's like Studio Mappa and stuff, and it does look distinctly different than seasons 1, 2, and 3. But yeah. I personally I like it a lot. I think the CGI Titans look good.
Yeah. I feel like season 2 was so, like, amazing. Like, this season it looked even better than part 1.
This season looked better than season 4.
This season looked better than, like, part 1 final season.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, they must have got their formula right, but it looks amazing.
Yeah,
I love Aaron's look.
Me too.
They just look more real.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like season 1 and season 2, like they have the black outlines, the thick black outlines, the big eyes.
Right.
Aaron had like big eyes. Now they're like, you have like John's like sleek look now. You know.
Yeah.
It looks dope.
Yeah, because they're all like older and stuff, so it has to kind of reflect that. Yeah.
And I feel like I don't, since it's like a lot darker now, I feel like this style just looks way better, and it fits what's going on way more than like season 1 and 2. Like season 1 is like, it's like an innocent look, you know, but now it's like now the world's fucked up. So I think it looks pretty good. I prefer this look.
That's I'm on your side on that one. I think I was going into this very worried because of my experiences with like with Jujutsu and but it looks good. Like the guy, I was watching a YouTube video, and apparently the guy who did Doro Hidoro, which is also like a CGI, like every character is a 3D model, but Doro Hidoro doesn't look that bad, and it's because there's a lot of detail in the 3D models, and like they are very fluent and stuff. And that's how I felt about this. And it's interesting because like the CGI in other parts of Attack on Titan that aren't by Studio Mappa do look kind of like worse. Like in season 3, like season 3 part 2 with the Colossal Titan, like they couldn't draw him every single time. So I get it. I'm not going to give them flack for that. But he doesn't look that great. You know, he looks like a CGI model. He stands out. But they look good, and they I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what they're doing, but it's great. It looks fantastic. I think that season 2 visually is the best one out of the entire show. Like, to think that season 1 looked as good as it did, and then season 2 they upped the ante. Like watching them back to back, it's insane how season 2 can somehow look better than season 1, but they fucking did it. It's like Demon Slayer season 2. It's like, you can't top the movie. You can't top the first show. And they did. And it's like, oh my God. Like in Vivi, like the detailed face thing, like they did that in season 2. And it's like, holy shit. And once I realized that, it was so good. And, directing wise, it's hard for me to explain. Like when I say directing, it's such a vague term. But season 2 does so many things aesthetically slightly different than season 1 that add to season 2. And I'm just like, holy shit. And
you talking about the final season, or you talking about like?
No, I'm talking about season 1, like the first season, and then season 2, the 11 episode thing. Season 2 is the best directed, quote unquote, and the best animated one out of them all. And the YouTube video I was watching was saying like, yeah, season 3 is by Wit Studio, but season 3, you know, Wit Studio actually like didn't want to become like the Attack on Titan studio. They did Attack on Titan because they were like, this show will look really good if we animate it because there's a lot of flying and stuff, and I think we can do that. So let's do season 1. And because if people see how good this looks, then it will give people reason to like invest in our original projects. So that's why Attack on Titan season 2 took so long, because they were like, oh, well, we kind of planned for all these other things. We didn't think Attack on Titan was going to be this big, and we weren't even really planning on doing season 2. So it's interesting. They kind of did season 2 somewhat out of obligation. And season 1, you know how it is in anime. They're getting overworked. They're getting underpaid. And you can kind of see them like losing steam in season 3. Like season 3, granted, there aren't a lot of fights in season 3, but even when there are fights, there's a handful that look great. But for the most part, season 3 does look worse than season 1 and 2. And you can tell that they're getting tired, and it's a shame. But you know, if watching a studio kind of lose their edge, because that's also happening to My Hero, like they just stopped trying with that fucking show. If watching a studio lose their edge and like not be able to make a show anymore is like the byproduct of forcing them to do it, then give it to another studio. You know, like Vinland Saga is also gonna get like Studio Mappa'd, like they're gonna do that. And I'm okay with that too. Like, it seems like Studio Mappa is just, whether it looks amazing, whether it's the best looking show of all time, they get it out and it looks decent, you know? Mm-hmm. So I will say that season 4 does look better than season 3. And that's pretty good. I'm happy with the animation.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
And yeah, there's so much to talk about, but maybe it would be best to just wrap it up there. This is a great show. There's nothing else like it. I enjoyed it. As of now, you know, it's not really over, so this is subject to change. But as of now, I will give Attack on Titan a 9 out of 10. And it's probably going to stay there if the ending doesn't disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 10 out of 10 for you right now, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I think plot-wise, no anime has ever like topped this.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what I'm really here for. So This is really like, I know I have like 4 10 out of 10s, but like Steins Gate and this show are like the real 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Just plot. Plot.
plot.
I mean, I don't know. Actually, I take that back. All my 10 out of 10s are 10 out of 10.
Are 10? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like truly, like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Samurai Champloo are 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
You know, bro. A little tangent. I was listening. I started to Samurai Champloo, the ending. And I want to hear the song. I love the fucking song. Not the ending song, like the ending of like the last episode.
Yeah. And
like when they just like, the girl was like, yo, you know, you guys won the coin toss, right? Like in the first episode. It's like, y'all know y'all won, right? And it was like, what? And she's like, but anyway, see y'all. Everyone just walks their own path.
Yeah.
Well, I love that ending, by the way, but when the song comes on, it's like, the song is so fucking good. I listened to like 10 times in a row, like back to back.
Yeah.
This song is good. I just love that show's ending. Like they're just walking, like the song's going off, and it's like them walking. Like it was just so dope.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite endings of like any show ever.
Yeah.
That ain't covered as well.
Man, I need to rewatch Champloo. Yeah.
I need to watch Cowboy Bebop after the movie.
Yeah, that's a good segue into the movie. So, did you you like the movie, I guess, right?
The movie is incredible.
Yeah.
The movie this movie is so good, Ali, that I'm so disappointed I didn't watch it before.
Yeah.
Like, so the movie takes place before the final arc,
yes.
right? And with that knowledge, is like the events of this movie is like the movie is like showing you what gave Spike the extra push to go confront Vicious in them.
Yeah.
I'm so upset I never watched this movie. I've only watched the clips.
Yeah.
But man, there's so much to break down.
Yeah, there's a lot to discuss, and it's a tough one. The reason why I like was saying like, oh, I can call in like an hour is because I was trying to take like notes, because when I watched it I didn't take any notes because I was just trying to experience it. And sometimes I like to do my 2 watches where I watch it once, and then the second time I take notes on the second time, but I didn't get to do that this time. But I have the movie on my computer, so I can scroll through it and we can talk about it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had a good time. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna start off with Jet.
Mm-hmm.
Jet is one of my favorite characters from the original show, and I just love how he's done in this movie, because the scene when he's by himself with the dog, and he's like, I don't even know why I'm in this group anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I'm in this group.
Yeah.
Everyone just does their own thing. There's no teamwork. Mm-hmm. Everyone just fucks off, and he's like, I'd be better off by myself. But then like it shows him sitting out waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
And it starts ringing. He's like, Spike. Yeah. And I love that. Like,
yeah.
These guys aren't like, they're friends, but they're not like real buddy. They'll never be like, yo, you're my best friend, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that in the show as well. And
yeah.
It's sad knowing the ending of the anime and like how Jet is now, because
yeah,
I rewatched the last episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, awesome. Yeah.
Because in Jet, before Spike does his final thing, they're just chilling, laughing, and then just like Spike's like, all right, I gotta go, and then just like, hey, are you doing this for a girl? And then Spike's like, nah, she's dead. What can a dead girl do for me?
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
And that's it. That's their last conversation. It's like, watching this, it's like, it sucks because like, even though he can talk all that shit, like they're not friends, like he truly deep down in heart loves their friends. He loves the Bebop crew, and it just sucks seeing him, because it sucks. Like when I watched that scene, I was kind of sad knowing the ending of the show.
Yeah,
like like he lost his boy, you know.
Yeah,
it sucks. But I love that scene. Like that scene didn't have to be in the movie, but it ties into the show like so well.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. For real.
And I think for my interpretation of that scene is like when Ein is on the table and Ein like moves the chess piece, like, Ein, don't fucking move the chess piece, because he wants to. Maybe I'm interpreting this incorrectly, but I interpreted that as like he wants the chess piece to stay there in case Spike comes back so they can continue their game. So he yells at Ein because he doesn't want him to do that, and then he's like, I'm sorry. And that was right after he was just like, I don't fucking care about him. Hey, don't touch our game. So yeah, it's great. And there was
that's what I thought. That's what I thought as well.
There was a moment like that with Faye too. There's a bunch of stuff like that in the show where it's like Faye's like, I don't give a fuck about you guys, and then there's like a part where it's clear that she does. And the part in this movie, like Faye's kind of doing her own thing. She's like pursuing the mystery like on her own path, and then like Spike calls her and she's like, oh, where the fuck have you been, bro? And Spike's like, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and do that. And she's like, don't tell me what to do. And he's like, bro, I need you to do this. Like, I know I can trust you. And he just hangs up. And she's like, and she does the thing. Like, it's, you know, I love that. I love that part with her. That happens in the show too.
Also ties into the show because in the last episode, before he goes off and she comes, like, where are you going?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have.
That's true.
Yeah,
that scene is crazy.
I know. One of my eyes is a robot.
It ties in so well with the movie. But hold on, let me just look at my notes.
Take your time.
Yeah. So the final message of the movie. I'm not actually. We'll talk about that later, but fucking first off, the when you see the girl for the first time, their little fight scene, like I've seen it before in clips and everything, but that shit is done so well.
Yeah.
It's not like animated well, and the
which one?
The story got so well.
The one where Spike's wearing the jumpsuit, or the one in the train?
Yeah,
the jumpsuit.
Janitor.
Yeah, it is great.
Like the way like the broom is like flying around his neck. And,
yeah.
Like I had to run that shit back. Like,
yeah.
I love gonna beat my ass. Like,
yeah.
That scene is so fire.
It's really good.
That girl, you know, going into this movie, like I seen that clip before, but I didn't think she was gonna play a major role.
Right.
I'm happy she did.
Mm-hmm.
Cause her thing with Vincent ties in a lot with Spike and Vicious is crazy, but Vincent and Spike are like the same people.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
They're like the same person.
They share the same soul, that Spike says.
Yeah, like Vince is really interesting because he's like thinks he's in a purgatory. He's died a while ago. Mm-hmm. It's like Spike.
Yep.
Spike been running, or he's like the dude says he's in a purgatory or a dream, and Spike has been in the same predicament.
Yes. Yeah.
After he left the girl, he's like, I'm in a dream, and it ties into the last episode of the show.
Yeah.
Because he's like, one eye has been looking in the past, and one eye is looking in the present. Yeah. And he actually, I think I wrote down the quote. But I'm gonna read this off. You can't see me, right?
No, I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna read this off. I said, in the very end, Spike seems to understand Vincent. He says, at the very end of the movie, he says he was all alone, always by himself, never anyone to share the game with. A man who lived in dreams. That's who he was.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I was like, Spike could have been the same thing, because luckily he had the Bebop crew, right, to keep him sane. But literally, they had like just literally the same person. But think like if Vincent is pretty much Spike with no Bebop crew, you know,
mm-hmm.
and he takes interest in Vincent because Vincent. I think in their first meeting, he says something. I forgot what he said, but I think he said, "I'm gonna try." Vince said, "I'm gonna try and find a way out this purgatory, or the gates of heaven."
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Spike was like. That's why Spike really wanted to like fight him again for the last time.
Yeah.
But like, because the game was over, like the bounty is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just doing that because he wants to, and like, and it's funny because the Bebop crew, they're talking about being broke, eating the same food, but like they're doing missions because like they want to, not for the money, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So he meets Vincent to like figure out like, because I feel like Spike sees himself in Vincent, so he's trying to figure out like what's Vincent trying to really do.
Yeah.
And I love how Vincent. Like Vincent looks dope as fuck.
Yeah, he's the coolest character.
He puts on the witch hat.
Yeah, I love that shit. That shit's so fire. Yeah. We watched a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. So coincidental. We
watched this. We should have watched it later this year.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking that, but it's okay.
Yeah. But what's I was saying? So he says that quote, but at the end, actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna back up a little.
Yeah, it's okay. Take your time. I'm glad you took a lot of notes because I was slacking this time. And this is a very notes-heavy movie. It's a movie that you gotta kind of like do your homework on. So I said, Vincent says the butterflies that he sees are the most beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Spike sees the butterflies. Like, Spike sees the butterfly without that little disease virus thing, right?
Right.
So he's completely healed, and he sees the butterfly, catches it, but then it disappears in his hand. In his hand. Yeah. So I said this ties into the show because Spike has yet to confront his past. All the beautiful things he sees are illusions, just like Vincent. Because Vincent, at the very end, said before he saw the girl, at the end, he's like, everything I've seen now has been an illusion. And I can finally see your face.
Right.
And I think in that moment, like Spike saw that little conversation, and it was like, I think that's what really pushed him a little to like confront how vicious in the show, because I think that's what the ending's about, because when he grabs the butterfly,
yeah,
and there's nothing there. It's like he's like, I can't really experience, like I can't really see anything like beautiful until I from my past.
And in in the last episode of Cowboy Bebop, he says, like, probably my favorite line in the show, where he's like, Faye's like, why are you going? Is like, just to die. And he's like, I'm not going there to die. I'm going there to live. And it's like that. Yeah. And that's what that's what Vincent is doing in this movie, you know?
Mm-hmm. And thing is, Spike is just seeing it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the ending. And it's such a it's like a try hard ending too.
Yeah.
You know, this movie, I think, even if you're not a try hard, like, this movie is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like really into Cowboy Bebop and its themes, then it's like spectacular.
Yeah.
Because hold on, let me see. Yeah, I said it. So in the end, Vincent faces the person he loves, and he says the days they spent together were the only days he felt alive. It's just like Spike, because when he had the girl, he felt alive, and when he left, he says he's been dreaming ever since then, you know?
Yeah.
Alright. So are you living in the real world, or are you living in the real world?
Yeah, that's what it says at the very end.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about dreams and shit. Yeah. So I love how in the anime, the last episode, they do that little title card thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, see you soon, Space Cowboy, shit like that.
Yeah.
And when they did it in this one, I got so excited.
Yeah.
Are you living in the real world? It's like what Spike asked himself right there, you know? Mm-hmm. Is he living in the real world, or is he just hiding from his past?
Right.
And that's what's so cool about this movie. I know I said it before, but like, because I love that this movie's canon. You know, it's not just like a non-canon film. So, and it fits into the plot so well. Like, this is right before he goes to see Vicious, so it makes so much sense. So this is what I wrote. I said, like I said before, Spike said, I thought I was living a dream. Spike said in the last episode, I thought I was watching a dream that I would never awaken from. And this, he said, I'm not going to die. I'm going to see there if I'm really alive, right?
Right.
And so I feel like that the final title card was pretty much meant for that. He said, with his other eye, he says, I thought I was watching a dream I can never awaken from. Talking about his past, because he said one eye doesn't work, that one. Or he has a fake eye and a real eye.
Yeah. So
that fake eye is the eye he's seeing the dream from. So that fake, is he really living in the real world with the fake eye looking in his dreams all the time?
Right. Oh my God, I didn't even think about it like that. That's really cool.
So like, it's so dope. I said a couple of other things. So are you living in the real world? The movie carries the same theme in the anime: to look within yourself and face your fears. It tells the viewer about the sides of themselves they might not want to face, about the weight they'll carry with them. Mm-hmm. So are you being real to yourself? Are you accepting the truth of the world? Because even if it wasn't, so pretty much, I think it's a great theme, just like in the show. Like, it's all about confronting your past, just like Jet confronts his past, Faye confronts her past. You know, because she's been like frozen, right?
Right.
And she goes to see all the footage and shit, because she doesn't really know who she is.
Right.
And I love how Faye in the last episode shows, like, I went back and saw my past. I forgot what she said exactly, but she's like, I went back and saw the past, and she was like, I thought you said about, I forgot what she said.
I think she said something along the lines of, like, there's nothing for me there. Like, this is all I have. Like, this is all I know. Yeah.
This is all I have, and now you're gonna leave. Mm-hmm. Like, now you're gonna go die.
Yeah.
But so are you living in the real world? Like, the title card is like talking about Spike. Mm-hmm. But it can also be talking to you.
Yes.
Are you living in the real world?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, the real world is full of pain and suffering, but within that you can find beautiful shit, like the butterflies that Spike has not yet to find, because he's still living in a dream. The title card, it's so awesome, bro. It's so fucking good. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love how it's directed at Spike. It's like the narrator talking to Spike, but also talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, are you living in the real world? Like, Spike clearly has not. And in the final episode, he says to himself, I'm going to go see if I'm really alive. And we see he does what he does. And I think he dies, even though it's like up to debate. I think he dies. And just like Vincent, the only way he experienced him getting out the dream was for him to die at the end.
Right, yeah. That's why he dies with a smile on his face.
Yeah, just like Vincent.
Yeah.
Him and Vincent are the same person.
The same soul. Yeah. Man. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
The only way to get out the purgatory was to die.
Yeah.
And they accepted that and died with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. So when I before I started watching this movie, I was like, I didn't think it was canon. And I also didn't think, I thought it was gonna be like a short 1 hour movie. I saw the 2 hour time. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good shit.
Wow, that's great.
So yeah, I was kind of taken away by that. I was like, 2 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours of extra Cowboy Bebop content.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that, you know?
I know. And they divvy the time extremely well between like the 5. You get to see everyone. Ein, Ed, Faye, everyone has a thing to do in this movie.
Yeah. Ed was really good.
Yeah, she was.
And whenever Ed talks to Faye, I find it so funny.
Yeah. Faye. Yeah.
When she was just walking in the streets, and it was like, stay right there, and she's like, okay. like thought like kids trigger treating. She's like, can't you put the thing on?
Yeah.
He's like, I told him not to go. Ed is funny.
Yeah, Ed's funny.
Ed and Ein, and it was actually very sad when they left in the show.
Yeah, it was extremely sad.
And you know, it's the same thing. Jet talking about like, why is he part of this crew? Like, you'd be better off alone. And when Ed and Ein leave, and then like they just showed them in the Bebop just like eating like aggressively, like
yeah.
I love that, you know, because they're never gonna come up and say like, fuck, I miss Ed, or like I miss Spike.
Yep.
I miss Faye. Like, they're never gonna say that, but you can just tell by the actions.
Yeah.
So I love that little subtle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's eating the pain away, but and just that alone, like, and you know, Ed leaves, Spike leaves. You know, you never see what happens to Jet and Faye, but
yeah,
you know they're devastated. You already know, like, even though like Jet's like super subtle, never his true emotions, like, you already know he's devastated. Faye, we already know Faye's devastated because they last chat, but this movie is so sad, knowing like the ending of the show.
Yeah,
it's so sad. Like even though the movie's like awesome, like I sat like and just thought about. I just sat in my bed, just looking up at the ceiling, just thinking about like how it ties into the show, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
And this movie came out 2001, like 2 years after the show.
Yeah.
What a time! Imagine watching the show in 1999.
Yeah, I know. Dude, it's crazy because like that's like the same time as The Matrix, and like it's just
Watanabe had his hands full.
I know. I know. Yeah, he had so many things to do. He's so cool.
Yeah, he is bro. He made Samurai. He made Space Dandy.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, you know, especially we talk about how this ties into the movie and how like Vincent is like the same character but with like a slightly different story, and how interesting it is that it mirrors Spike. Somewhat unrelated, but Cowboy Bebop is heavily inspired by Blade Runner, and you could, even though they are not canon in the same universe, you could say the same thing for the characters in Blade Runner, how they like oddly mirror Spike's story in like a really weird way. It's like one of the best YouTube videos ever made, just like talking about how Blade Runner and Cowboy Bebop are technically like the same thing. And it's like, oh, dude, we need to watch Blade Runner on the podcast. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I really think that you will enjoy Blade Runner.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you really said it all, Manny. There's not much to add. Yeah, it's fucking Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, man, that title card.
Mm-hmm.
Are you living in the real world? Yeah. I don't know. Am
I? I know that I'm not. I know damn well I'm not. I am not doing. There are things in my past that I am not facing, and I'm very well aware that I'm in this lull state that is similar to Spike and Vincent's, where I won't live my best life. Because in the same way that, I don't know, like I don't want to die, or I don't want to like throw my life away, but maybe throwing my life away is what I need to do in order to quote unquote live, right? Like maybe that's just my natural path, but I'm not doing it. And I see fucking butterflies all the time. Like I'm definitely not living in the real world, and maybe I never will until I'm 80 and I just say fuck it. But yeah, that's why I love this show. That's why it's one of my favorite anime.
For sure. And it's not just about, it's interesting because in the anime it was just I forgot if the final episode, if it says you're gonna carry that weight or see you soon, Space Cowboy.
The final episode, I believe, says
carry that weight.
Yeah, carry that weight, and I think every episode says Space Cowboy. I think. Yeah.
Every episode?
Not every single episode, but there was one episode where it said "See you, Space Samurai" because it was like a joke about like the side guy. So I remember it was inconsistent with that, but maybe there were other episodes where they said other things. But I felt like Space Cowboy was like the main thing. I could be wrong. We have to check. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think there's been a lot of great videos about you're gonna carry that weight. Just that quote alone. A lot of great videos, and just that alone is amazing because you see Spike get rid of his weight.
Yeah.
And now you've seen him get rid of weight. Are you inspired to get rid of yours, or are you just gonna carry that with you? Mm-hmm. Shit like that is just like, man, like
chills.
And then for that, when the anime did it, it was really good. But when this movie did it, I was blown away. Like, are you living in a real? It's so cool. Like,
yeah,
it's like subtle and it's not subtle.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
It's so dope. Like you can like make a 20-minute video about this shit, or you can just like, or it'll feel like a casual. You can just tie it into yourself, right?
Right.
But
yeah.
It's so good. I love the theme of the movie. I love how the theme is the same as the show, and it enhances the show.
Yeah.
For Faye and Jet, but also Spike. So
yeah, it a lot of people will watch this in between like the episodes that it like takes place in. A lot of people will watch the show and then watch this as if it's an episode, and I think that's perfectly acceptable. I think it like fits so well.
I think when I rewatch the show, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool.
Man, and the dub is as good as ever as well.
Yep. Every single Vincent in the dub is so cool. He's so cool.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him so much. Halloween is purgatory. Oh. I love it so much, man. Oh, it's so, dude, I'm speechless about this too,
Yeah, it's like they're the same guy.
Words cannot really explain how the show makes you feel. You know, it's
that's exactly how I feel about the anime too. Like, I can't express how good this is. You know, like Watanabe is just so like he's such an expert at episodic shows. You know, like with the Cowboy Bebop, he did with Shame Clue, but I feel like he really like mastered this shit. Like he mastered it, but he really like honed in on Space Dandy. Those are like the greatest episodes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
of any show. Like those episodes are like untouchable.
Yeah,
that rock band. Like Dandy, like dude, like Watanabe is such a cool guy.
Yeah,
you know, he did it with the jazz. He did it with rap.
I know.
And like, what can't this guy fucking do? You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of shows that he's done that are not the episodic types that I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen Kids on the Slope. I'm interested in Carol and Tuesday just because he's attached to it, and especially because it's like music focused. So
Kids in the Slope. The music in that is dope. It's
nice.
When they're playing, like you can feel that shit through the screen.
Fuck.
Like the drums. It's animated really good.
Yeah.
But this, I guess I'll say now, but the next anime I'm gonna watch is Terror and Resonance, and he made that too.
Yes, I'm very interested in that.
I watched the first episode.
It's a show? I thought it was a movie.
It's 12 episodes.
Okay.
So that's gonna be in the next podcast.
Okay. Cool. I'll watch that for the next episode. Crunchyroll or Funimation? Both? We'll see. We'll check out.
I saw a 9 anime, but
okay.
Yeah, but Cowboy Bebop movie, expertly done.
Yeah.
Very well done. Giving it. It's damn near 10 out of 10.
Cool. I'm glad.
It's like it's high 9 of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. For me, I love the movie just as much as you do, and I kind of see it as a piece to a much larger picture, and it's a really good piece. But Cowboy Bebop as a whole is the 10, and this little like chunk is its entire purpose is to serve the 10 out of 10 like masterpiece like painting, and it's a really good part of that painting. But at the end of the day, to me, it is just a part. So for me, when I rate it, it's somewhere between a 7 and an 8, and I think I'm gonna give it a 7. And I know I always feel like I have to preface this, but 7s are very good for me. Fooly Cooley is a 7 and stuff. So it's a good ass movie. I might bump it up to my 8s, but yeah, it's good.
Okay.
All right. Now let's talk about the Christmas movie, the very first Satoshi Kon movie that we are watching. And I think it's interesting that we started with this one because this is his last movie. Did Paranoia Agent come after this or before? I'm not really sure.
I think Paranoia Agent came after. It did come after.
Okay. Interesting. Well, this is a movie about 3 homeless people, 1 trans woman, an old guy, and a young girl finding a baby in the garbage and trying to get the baby back to their house. And the opening scene is mirrored with the whole like Jesus in a manger story, and it shows like the 3 wise men like go to Jesus. And then immediately after they are at that like little recital thing to get free food, it shows them like 3, not all of them are men, but three people standing over the baby, and the baby is like an analogy for Jesus. And in the beginning of the movie, it's like Jesus was born to offer those a place in which to be alive, to give people a reason to exist amongst one another. And the baby kind of connects these characters to each other even more than they already are, and gives them a reason to be together in the film. And I really like that analogy, and I really like the movie. I think it's fun and funny, and it's an enjoyable time, and there's a lot of really good stuff that I can add on to it. But what did you think, being this your first Satoshi Kon joint?
I thought, one, before you watch the movie, I thought it was going to be a mafia movie.
Really? Because it said Godfathers, yeah. Yeah.
The title is really cool, Tokyo Godfathers. I didn't think it would be anything about homeless people, but coming from Satoshi Kon, I also thought it was going to be a try-hard movie, so I went in ready for a try-hard.
Right.
But it's not, and that's fine, because the movie is fun. It is a fun adventure.
Right.
And
very casual friendly.
Yeah, it is very casual friendly. I think he needed to take a break from the try-hard, so he made a casual movie.
I would make an argument that it's a little, I don't want to say try-hard's a strong word, but there is some subtlety to be seen in this movie, and there is some unique stuff that's very under the rug, and it's very hard to see it, and it's very easy to ignore because it's not really necessary in the grand scheme of it. And I guess it depends on your perspective whether you consider it try-hard or not. But there's a lot of, you have the analogy of like Jesus in the manger and the love that these characters have for each other tying together the entire movie. And then you have a lot of moments that seem not necessarily supernatural, but coincidental to a degree where it's very, very odd, and it feels like something is awry or something is happening to benefit these characters in ways that is very significant. And you could come up with the theory, which I know a lot of people have, that maybe it's the acts of God like helping them through these endeavors. Like there are some theories that the baby in this movie is Jesus, and I think it's because there are so many things in the movie that like build towards that little reveal. Like I think the main thing is like the ending where like she falls off the building, and then like that random gust of wind comes and like saves her at the end. And wind is like such a consistent part of the movie that like represents just random acts of God like that kind of help these characters. Like another part in the movie that has wind is when the old man is dying in his like little shed, and there's a bunch of windmills like around him, and they're going when he's alive, and then when he dies the windmills stop, and then the windmills start going again for him to come back alive. And it's perceived as like, oh, it's just a joke, and it's just like a cool stylistic thing. But if he didn't come back alive, then Jin, is that his name? I think that's his name. Jin, like the old guy, wouldn't see the poster that led them on their journey to go to her house. So there's a very likely chance if the wind didn't keep going and quote unquote keep the guy alive, then their journey wouldn't work. So it's almost like this random circumstantial thing, like a godly thing or whatever that's aiding them on their journey. And there's a bunch of other wind parts in this movie that you could draw that interpretation from, and the other visual motif that you can derive value from besides the wind is the light. There's like a lot that has like purpose when it comes to like light and like shadows. I know it seems like really simple, but it's like very intentional throughout the movie that light kind of represents love and life. And there's many examples of that throughout the film that I thought were really fucking cool. Some that I didn't even notice. Like I was watching a video essay on it, and when he's getting beat up by the kids, like right after he leaves like the old man's tent, they do like a side view shot, like it looks like a fighting game almost. And if you're paying attention, like there's like a building behind them, and the top floor of the building, the lights are on. And as the dude is getting beat up, the lights on his side of the screen are going down like a health bar because he's like losing his life. And then when the kids like leave, and he like gets up, his like the lights start turning back on in the background. So like it's so
that's dope.
Yeah, I want you to I'll send you like a screenshot of that when I can, but very thoughtful. And there's a bunch of stuff like that in this movie. So like when the baby when they first like meet the baby, like the baby is engulfed in light, even though they're not really in a setting that has light, because it's like they're in the garbage can and there's like something over their head. There's not really a lot of light to shine on the baby, and it's like completely out of context, but they're doing it anyways. And I was saying how light represents love and life, and Hana says in the movie, throwing away a baby is like throwing away love. And that like really resonated with me. I was like, oh fuck, you know? So it's like the dialogue ties into that theory too, of like the light and the winds meaning those things. So, you know, in the argument that it's try hard and it's, I at least for me, I would make the argument that it's quote unquote try hard enough to satiate my desires. But definitely right. It's definitely not alienating like it is in like, you could argue Perfect Blue. Like a lot of people might watch Perfect Blue and not understand it by the end of it. But even if you don't get the analogy of like Jesus and stuff, you will understand this movie.
Right. Well, for me, the major theme I took away is obviously family, because they have their own little homeless family. And then when they add the baby to this homeless family, the baby, them meeting the baby, because they found the baby and they went on this journey that leads them to them finding their own family,
right,
and finding forgiveness in their families. Because Jin, when he finds his daughter, he's like, "You must hate me,"
right,
and she's like, "Nah, we've been looking for you." Blah blah blah. He probably thought she was gonna be super pissed. I thought she was gonna be super pissed too, but
yeah,
turned out he wasn't. So because he met the baby, he found his family. And, you know, the young girl found her dad, and that's her dad, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's definitely gonna forgive her. Did he? I don't think he's ever said he's gonna forgive her.
The dad was never like really mad. There was like there are many things in the movie that show that the dad like wants her back regardless, and he like just misses her. Yeah.
Right. And I think any father would forgive their.
Yeah.
You know what, it is fucked up what she did. I think they would forgive.
Yeah, but it was by teen angst. It was, you know, yeah.
And
Tales from Mercy.
It's dope because at the very end, the kid who helped them reconnect with their families is now still part of their family because they're now the Godfathers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Now they really are connected. That's dope. I love the ending. When they said, "Oh, we're gonna make them Godfathers," I thought that was super dope.
Yeah.
It just ties in with the whole family thing, because now they were just like a homeless family. Now they're like really connected through this baby they found.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole movie, they connected with their families once again. So now they're not just homeless and alone.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Now they're all doing good. I really like the ending. I was thinking why the movie was called Godfathers throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when she said, when the baby's mom says it, I was like, that's fucking dope. Yeah. I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah. And it ends on a joke too, because like they look at the girl and it's like, and it's like, bump, 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 and then the credits play. It's great.
Yeah. I love the ending. Heartwarming ending. And very heartwarming movie throughout. This is one of those movies that like has a very playful attitude, like from beginning to end, even when sad things are happening in the movie. Like even when the dude gets like beat up, you know, it's a little sad in that moment, but the movie still kind of has this like comical, like charming, like funny energy to it, even during those sad bits. Like when the guy like tries to assassinate the dude at like the wedding or whatever, it's like, oh shit, oh my god. And then like the guy that he was gonna hit with the bottle like stands in front, and the Yakuza boss doesn't die. The playful music immediately starts and they're like, oh, what the fuck's going on? So it like it keeps that energy throughout, and I think it's very good for the movie, because like the movie is supposed to be about like love and family and friendship and stuff, and despite the adversities, having the movie have this playful comedic tone throughout, you still feel the connection between these characters, despite sometimes them being mad at each other, despite them saying they don't like each other, because there's also a joke like 2 seconds after that. You know that they do love each other, you know that they do give a shit. It's
It's a very funny movie. Did you find it funny?
Yeah, I did find it funny.
Yeah.
One of the interesting parts is when they go to the Spanish girl's house, and when she's speaking Spanish, like, because I watched this movie in
English.
I watched it subbed.
Okay.
Then there's no subtitles for the Spanish girl.
Yeah.
No, I was like, that's interesting because they usually they do it.
Right.
There's one thing I want to. This ties in with Devil's Part-Timer too, but then I switched over to the dub to see if they had the subtitles for the girl, and they don't there, and I really like that. It's like the characters don't know what the fuck she's saying. You don't know what she's saying.
Yeah.
I find that dope. And even though I know a little Spanish, I kind of picked up on what she was saying.
Right. Yeah.
After I was kind of happy that I can kind of understand.
That's cool.
But I like how the show doesn't make you understand it because the main character doesn't get it either. Yeah. So I kind of like that. And in Devil is a Part-Timer, I watched that in dub because I put that show on my laptop and fucked on my phone most of the time. But they speak in there. In the other universe, they speak in their the whole different language. I don't think it's a real language, but I watched the show dub, and whenever they spoke in their language, I would have to switch to sub to see subtitles.
What? They didn't put subtitles on the dub version?
No.
That is really bad. You should still do that.
Yeah,
what the hell?
It was weird. I constantly switch over to sub dub.
Did you watch Ping Pong in dub?
No. Also,
when Ping Pong is in dub and the Chinese guy talks, I wonder if they have subtitles for him, like English subtitles. They should.
I think they do.
Interesting. I guess Funimation just slacked off.
Nah, I watched this. I forgot where I watched it, but.
Oh, you didn't watch it on a legal Funimation or Crunchyroll?
Nah, I didn't watch it on those. They probably have it on Crunchyroll and Funimation. They probably do, but.
Okay.
I think sharing my experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I really like the Spanish scene or the Spanish no subtitle thing in the Godfathers.
Yeah, it was.
I
really
thought that was where he was coming out. I was just happy I know the Spanish.
That's cool. Yeah, I love when he was talking to her in Spanish, and then she spoke in English thank you very much. It was very good. There's a lot of. Go ahead.
It's funny because in the sub, when she's just speaking straight up Japanese, I don't know how the Spanish girl just picks up on something. But the dub, it makes a little more sense.
Right.
But in the sub one, it's there's no way you can tell what the hell she's talking about.
Exactly. From the perspective of a Japanese person, there are probably foreign people that live in Japan that their main language that they have to learn some of the words of, in the same way that some people have to learn some of the English words, they'll be able to derive because they live in Japan and they have to, So if she says policeman in Japanese, she might go policeman in Japanese or whatever, So, but there were a lot of words that she was saying in English, the girl would say something in English and she when they said policeman, she was like policeman, but yeah, you're still right. There were still a lot of things that she picked up on. Yeah,
I thought it was funny. It doesn't really take anything away.
Yeah,
it just makes sense in dub.
Yeah, but yeah, I loved it. Have you watched a Christmas anime before? Have you ever seen a Christmas anime?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this is a really good Christmas movie. It has that Christmas spirit. It's not like a movie where it's it takes place during Christmas, but it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's it's all about the spirit and stuff. It has.
Did Ride Your Wave end on Christmas?
That doesn't count. Not just one scene at the end. Did it end on Christmas? I guess it did. Fuck.
That last scene was painful. But...
Yeah, I know. But anyway. This is Christmas the whole time.
This is Christmas. And it does tie in.
Yeah.
The Jesus thing.
Yeah.
The whole family thing.
Yeah, the themes of this movie really connected with me, and how it's done with the Jesus stuff. I struggle to use the word subtle because it's not boom boom in your face, but it is simple, It's a very basic thing, but it works because of the energy that the movie has, and because of like how it manages to focus on its story and not like talk about the analogy and not talk about how like it's obvious, and it doesn't mirror the Bible in like super obvious ways or something, you know. It's not like the three wise men have a gift for the baby or something. It's
its subtlety doesn't really take anything away, because it's executed good. Whether it's simple or not, it's executed well. That's all we really ask for in these movies, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's all I need. I just need the story to make fucking sense. Don't do any ride your waves. Don't have anything like that's like completely fucking illogical. And there's nothing like that in these movies. Yeah.
It's funny how like this execution is like rare.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. In all movies. It's crazy.
Yeah. The show did its thing. Yeah, so I don't think it's really like, it's not boom boom, but I feel like most people took away its themes.
Yeah. I agree. It's a very, very fun, interesting movie, and like I feel like if you wanted to really like, I really do kind of stand by the whole like Jesus analogy, and like it pops out to me all the time. And if you think about the wind and like the light thing, and some people might hear that and go like, bullshit, I don't think that was the intention, it was just coincidence. But if you do watch it with that frame of mind, you might recontextualize a lot of scenes to be like a lot cooler. Like you know, when the girl's about to like jump off the building with the baby, and like the wind comes like randomly, and the dude who was her like boyfriend randomly changes his mind, and he's like, hey, don't jump, after he just was talking all that shit and being like, I don't care, and you know. So it's like another coincidence, like trying to like save them. And then there's that part where like the baby talks to her and it's like, I want to go home. Was that just in her head? Did it really happen? Was it another like coincidence, like godly thing? And I like how open-ended it is. I like how you don't really know if these are acts of God or if they are by circumstance. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter either way, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I love how the movie doesn't answer that for you. What did you think of the really over-the-top climactic like ending with like the mom like faking the baby thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of Perfect Blue energy like seeping into the movie.
I feel like this movie kind of needed that to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
It needed something a little extra to happen near its end.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good.
I agree.
It gave the movie some stakes. Because once the old dude's like, that's not the mom, and everyone starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, like what is she about to do? You know?
Yeah.
They had that whole chase scene.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, man. She's about to jump at the end. It's funny because that scene where she's like grabbing onto the thing, and like I remember, especially back in the day when I used to watch like, I used to look up a lot of like analysis, like videos on like the like Perfect Blue and movies like this, and it'll show that scene of her hanging off, and I was like, I remember back in the day, I was like, I want to watch that movie with the girl hanging off.
Yeah. And
now, like, I finally see it. I'm like, that's the fucking thing I was talking like 8 years ago. It was great. For me, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is that movie? I was like, I've seen this before. And then I had a fucking flashback to like me like watching 30-minute analysis videos all day. But yeah, but that was dope. But I thought it was all good.
Yeah. I
think that the second half of the movie is really entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's very entertaining too. And you know, I was thinking about like Kiki's. I love Kiki's with all my heart, and it has that like blimp ending. And even while I don't dislike that, there's a part of me that's like, you didn't need that. If that wasn't in the movie, it would still like be the same for me. And
yeah, Kiki's did not need that shit.
It didn't. But I feel like this movie. I know. Kiki's. But this movie, I feel like it did need it, and it doesn't feel incredibly out of place or like out of nowhere, because there is still over the top goofy shit that happens throughout the movie, like with the assassination at the wedding. Like that's so over the top and like so like not something that you'd expect from this kind of story. So when the ending thing happens, it's like, oh, this feels consistent with things I've seen before. The tone feels like it's not going too far.
Yeah. Kiki, that's a good analogy to Kiki's. Kiki's was bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tokyo Godfathers was, it did feel right.
Yeah.
And by the end, you're not even thinking about that scene.
Yeah,
you think about them being the kids' godfather.
Mm-hmm. And
it didn't really like, even though it's like crazy thing, like something insane going on, it doesn't really take over.
Yeah.
What's real. So it was done right.
Yeah, that's all attributed to what I was saying earlier about how the movie maintains its like playful attitude, even though like the craziest, highest stakes, like, oh my God, this is like really bad. Like the baby got stolen by like the not real mom. They're still like running really funny. There's still like jokes like during them chasing her. Like they chase her and the guy like opens the door, slams into Hana, and like the dude like goes around. It's, you know, it's still funny despite that, you know, and that's why by the end of the movie, you don't want to see like what happens to that like girl. You want to see what happens to our main characters that we love and enjoy. And it's great. It's a really fun, playful movie. It's definitely the funniest out of the other ones. And I really like it compared to the other ones because in Perfect Blue and and Millennium Actress and Paprika, without like explicitly spoiling them, those movies do things where it's like, is this real? Is this not real? Oh, what's going on? And there are things that are explicitly not real in those movies. In this movie, they do kind of have that a little bit with the God, like Jesus stuff, but the movie, despite that, is extremely grounded, and there is no like fantastical elements. Everything that you see is real, but he still does that and makes you question it for a second, even though it's like it is real. Like when the angel pops up and she's like, do you want an ambulance or do you want my divine like glory or whatever? And then you find out that, you know, he's in the hostess club and you see the girl wearing the same outfit, you know. It gives this movie a quality that the other movies do not have. And I think when you watch the other ones, at least for me, I appreciate this one a lot because of how in contrast it is to the other ones. And it's not like a try hard, like what's going on. It's like a beautiful blend of both. And I think it's executed very well. Yeah. It's very good. Yeah. Hana is one of the best like anime characters like I've ever seen. She's so funny. It's like she has some of the best like lines, some of like the coolest parts to me. She makes the funniest fucking faces. I'm gonna send you a face I might make this my new profile picture. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a face. And this is not like one frame. Like they stay on this shit for like mad long. It's so funny.
I love how she and Jin has a gap in her teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it's because there was in one of the videos that I was watching, they were saying that she has a gap in her teeth because it's implied that she got beat. I don't know how true that is because none of the the Jin doesn't have shit in his teeth either. It might be just because he's homeless. So I don't really know about that, but that's just an interesting thing to think about.
Just the homeless look.
Yeah, I think it's just a homeless look as well. But yeah, this movie connects with me. You know, and I say this about other movies. Like the theme of love is very simple, but you know, it's consistent with like a lot of other movies I like Ninja Scroll, Castle in the Sky. You know, and even this movie, they're all like very basic in their core like stories, but they connect with me very well because I just find them to be very well executed. So this movie, it gets a lot of points for me because it connects with me a lot personally. So yeah, I love it. I don't think there's much else that I have to say. No, that's it. That's really it. Yeah. I'm going to give Tokyo Godfathers an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm going to give it like a high 7.
Nice. All right. So, what is going to be the anime for the next episode? Are we watching shows now? Do you want to watch a show? You want to watch Terror and Resonance or
Resonance? Yeah.
Okay. So,
but bro,
mm-hmm.
I found a show that I've wanted to watch ever since I became an anime guy.
Mm-hmm.
Katana Gatari, like Monogatari, Katana Gatari.
Is it part of that, or?
I don't think so, but it has the same name.
I've seen this like main character so many times. Yeah. Katana
This show,
Gatari.
I've been looking. I've been wanting to watch the show for so long, but I forgot the name because I couldn't find it anywhere back then. I think this YouTuber spoke about it. It was like to watch the show legally, you would have to spend like $200.
Really?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still the same nowadays, but a YouTuber is talking about it, and I cannot. I don't want to watch it for the next one.
Okay.
But this is gonna be number 1 on my watch list because also this is 12 episodes, but each episode's 50 minutes.
Holy shit! Really?
It's gonna be a long one. Yeah.
Interesting. There's no retail like. So he's probably talking about like a Blu-ray that is like out of print, and that's why it costs so much.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now, but yeah, I'll add that to my watch list. Jesus. Whoa, this is so interesting. The publisher is not a publisher that does Blu-rays. It's a publisher that does video games. Wow. That's why it's so expensive, because they didn't do that many. It's not a normal anime Blu-ray. Why? So it's not on any streaming service?
Nope.
That's fucking weird. Okay. All right. Katanagari.
Bro, so you know how I still use Kiss Anime?
Yeah.
I decided to drop Kiss Anime, move on to 9 Anime.
Yeah.
By the time I did this, because 9 Anime is like fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like fucking perfect. I've been on Kiss Anime for years. Now I can find one. Katana, bro, not Katana. 9 Anime has everything.
Yeah.
It has. Like, so remember I said the Devil was a part of how I was switching dub to sub? You can switch like that. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And for a fucking illegal site to have, for you to like be able to like make it, to watch it like 2 times speed, 1.5 speed.
I know.
Crazy. I was like, bro, what the quality is this for? Like,
yeah. Yeah,
and,
dude, Crunchyroll needs to step up their game. People will watch something on 9 Anime over Crunchyroll because of features like that.
Yeah, literally, like, this is all I need. Like, I don't need Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I already got rid of my Funimation subscription. It's ending.
Yeah, it's ending, yeah.
Like, this has everything.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It's not like a low quality. Like,
I know.
Like, it's a well put together site. This is what I'm watching, Terror Resonance. And Terror Resonance has a strong first episode.
Cool.
I'm really excited. Because I seen the cover before, and I seen it somewhere on 9 Anime.
Right.
That I looked at it. I was like, "This show looks interesting. Let me watch the trailer." I watched the trailer. It says, "From the minor Shinichiro Watanabe." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Is it an original story? Well, I mean, he didn't come up with the story for Cowboy Bebop, but like when it says directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, am I gonna get a Watanabe joint, or is it like a show based on a manga?
I don't know if it's directed by him. It just said "from the mind of." Like, that's all I need.
Okay. Oh, Mappa. That's interesting.
This character design is like.
I know, it's really cool. Yeah.
Like, this dude's clothes is like insane. I can't wait to watch this fucking show. It looks very interesting.
That'll be
50-minute episodes.
Wow.
It's like a fucking Netflix show.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Terror in Resonance. Legendary director Watanabe and famed composer Yoko Kanno. She does the music for Bebop. She doesn't usually do other stuff. That's really cool. I'm very interested in this show now.
Yeah, I think I'm back on my anime grind because after watching Sons of the Children, Hagenai, and that was a part-time in such a short time, like, yeah, I'm back on the grind.
Yeah, I'm ready to be back on anime grind as well. There's a part of me that wants to not watch a shonen until like Chainsaw Man, because that's like all I've been doing, just like 50 episode shonen series, and I need
there's like no shonen to watch. To be honest, after Terror, I want to like start watching Monogatari.
Really? Okay. Fuck it, let's do it.
Have you seen Spice and Wolf?
No, but I saw it was very high on your list.
That show's awesome. Cool.
It's like a cooking thing, no? Or just a hangout show?
It's definitely not cooking. It's just the dude's a merchant.
Okay.
He fucking goes around selling shit with Polo, Wolf Girl.
It's a romance though, right?
Yeah. I really like that.
All right, I'll add it to my list.
And here's another one. I think I brought this shit up last time. This show's very try hard.
Mm-hmm.
Shin Sekai Yori from the New World.
You did not bring this up last time. This is new to me. What is this?
Show's extremely try hard. I remember Lewis told me to watch it, and then I watched the first episode, and I said, I'm not ready for this yet.
Whoa. That's so cool.
Not yet. I'm not ready for this yet. I was like, I'm not ready for this right now.
Right, yeah. Well, that's very promising.
Yeah. So I think I want to watch Terror, Katana Gatari, Monogatari, and then this show.
Cool.
And we can complement that with whatever you want to watch.
Great. So right now, financially, I'm trying to save up because I'm going to be going to Anime Boston in May. And when I go to Anime Boston, one of the things...
Boston?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm not going?
It's in May. You're not going to be here.
Dude, I got to get my Piccolo cosplay.
Yeah, I went before the pandemic, and it was really fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, I never heard of Anime Boston.
Yeah, well, it was fun last time. And one thing that I get to do there is like they have like a whole booth where like you can buy like Blu-rays from like any retailer or like memorabilia and stuff. And I didn't have a lot of money last time because I wasn't aware of that. And back then I didn't really care about Blu-rays, but now I do. So when I go there, I want to have a lot of money to buy like all the shit that I want to buy. So I am kind of trying to not be spendy. And I don't necessarily want to watch a lot of movies that I have to rent before I go there, you know? Like, I can do that after, but before I go, I don't really want to do that. So if I get to pick, I would like to pick something that is on a streaming service or is something that I own a Blu-ray of already. So I have some ideas. But I know that we started the Satoshi Kon movies. So if you want to do like back-to-back Satoshi Kon every episode, we can also do that. But so
you can pick whatever you want.
I can pick? Okay. Cool. So let's see. Give me a little while to peruse, okay?
I'm looking at an Anime Boston vlog.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people.
Yeah.
All these fucking weebs.
Yeah, it's big weeb energy when you go there. Everyone dresses up.
None of them can match my anime knowledge.
You'd be surprised. People know things.
No.
People know. People. I feel like I'm an outsider when I go there. Like they'll be like, "What the fuck are you dressed up as?" "Oh, I'm from Nanbaka from 2004." I'm like, "What is that?" You know?
Dude, could they dress up as like fucking extreme side characters?
Yeah, yeah, I know. People are very passionate about anime. Makes me very happy to be there. Feels like I'm with my kind. But
yeah, I'm gonna go look for a 02 girl cosplaying.
Mm-hmm.
fucking try to get her number.
So, we're doing 2 movies, right? Do you want to do 2?
Sure.
Okay.
This is I can't wait to go I can't wait to go on May. I'll be dressed as Gutaro from Demon Slayer.
Gutaro?
That's the main villain in season 2.
Oh, how's that? Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. They're gonna lose a lot of weight. They're gonna go full on whatchamacallit? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find that guy.
Me too.
Is that fucking? Oh my god, that's the girl from fucking High School DxD. What's wrong with you? Pikachu, wow, so fucking original. This is wearing a fucking Mexican outfit.
All right, I'm gonna recommend 2 movies. I'm gonna recommend Trigun, Badlands Rumble, which I have already seen before, but we're watching our favorite show tie-in movies. I think it would be nice to watch that. So that'll be movie number 1. And movie number 2, I kind of want to watch something I've never seen before.
What about I Want to Eat Your Pancreas? You heard of that?
I have seen that, and I will watch that again.
I haven't seen it.
Let's watch it. Let's do that one. Yes, I consciously. Huh?
You can pick another one.
All right, let's pick another one. We'll save that one for like the next episode when it's your turn. You know, I know what I want to watch. I want to watch the Fist of the North Star movie. I don't know if it's on anything, but I have a Blu-ray, and I've been itching to watch it for a really long time. That's my second recommendation, Fist of the North Star. Do you want to watch that one? Are you okay with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. And I feel like there are many movies, so let me look it up and clarify the year. 1986. I guess it's not on anything except Tubi, but it's probably on 9anime. Those are the 2. Those are the 2 we're doing.
Oh yeah, and next season anime is about to come out too.
Yeah, everything's starting. So next season it's just Devil is a part-timer and Kaguya-sama.
No, Devil. I think Devil comes out in summer.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna watch Spy X Family.
I keep forgetting that's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that as well when it's over, though.
So there's gonna be Shield Hero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch Love is War. I'm gonna watch Spy X Family. I'm gonna watch. There's this other romance coming out called Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. And I think I'm gonna watch that. Okay. But Ali, I forgot to bring this shit up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This show I didn't talk about.
Oh.
It's Darling, My Dress Up Darling. That show is one of the best romances.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it is a beat around the bush till the last episode, and even in the last episode nothing happens.
Right.
It was a fun ride.
That's good. I think you talked about it on the last episode, because I think it ended a while ago, right? Unless it ended recently. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly.
No, I didn't talk about it last episode.
Okay.
I said that I'm gonna talk about it next episode.
Okay.
So yeah, that show last episode's crazy because like halfway through the season the girl like develops feelings for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy obviously likes to go. You've seen the girl's fucking hot.
Right.
And she already secured waifu of the year, right? But
right.
It's crazy how popular the show was too, because like on 9anime it says like shows, like most viewed shows like this week, this month, this day, and it was like 2, 3 like every day. It was like One Piece always. It was like either that show or Naruto, then Attack on Titan. because Attack on Titan didn't air that weekend, so like it took his spot. But that show, the last episode, like it was like some real life shit. Like they was on like FaceTime on their bed talking to each other, about to go to sleep, and then the main character knocks out, and then the girl was like, "Are you gonna watch this?"
You can spoil it. I might watch it, but it's okay.
The girl's like this is like the last 10 seconds of the show. She's like, while the dude's sleeping on FaceTime, she's like, "I love you." it's so
yeah, because they've been building up to it.
It's like real life.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like they was having like a late night FaceTime conversation, and I've like been in that shit, and it's like so like
real.
It's like so real, and then I love you. Like, can't wait to see you tomorrow. It was like super cute.
Yeah.
And it was like that was worth not getting like a kiss or a hug.
Right. Yeah.
Even though they did the beat around the bush thing, it was worth it. And it's funny I didn't bring this up when we was talking about the other shows. And that's the reason why I watched Haganai, Suicide Children.
Because you wanted that again.
Because it's romance.
Yeah.
That last episode, I was like, holy shit. That's the started watching romance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually good.
That's great.
Probably like top 5 romances.
Wow. What are the other 4?
Off the top of my head, like probably like top 5.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
really good.
there are some things that I wanted to like talk about before we wrap up. I'm trying to like always write down if something interesting anime wise happens, if it's worthy of discussion and stuff. But
thing got a Titan got a little teaser.
Yeah, you got a little teaser. Like literally like an hour before the episode aired. I was like, oh yeah, of course this shit's not ending this week. Yeah. And I thought they were gonna do a movie for like a grip, you know? So they said 2023. I wonder how long it'll be. I don't know about you, but there were a lot of people saying like, "Oh, season 4 is only going to be these 16 episodes." Now, having watched it myself, I don't know how the fuck anybody thought that. This is like so long. There's so much shit. Like, why did anybody say that? It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. But that's cool. You know,
I've seen a lot of talk about shit like that, and I just block that shit out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well because anime niggas are fucking annoying.
People just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know about there.
I know. But another thing, Made in Abyss season 2 got confirmed for July.
Yes, I'm definitely must watch.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta before the show comes out, I gotta watch the movies. I get to watch the movies.
You only need to watch the one, Dawn of Deep Soul. The other ones are compilation films. So just watch that one, which is on High Dive, so you can get like a free subscription. I don't know if Made in Abyss season 2 is going to be on Amazon Prime. I think it's going to be on High Dive because it's not on Crunchyroll. Is it? Wait, it might be. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Is it on Crunchyroll?
What?
Made in Abyss? No, it was on High Dive. Yeah. Did you have Verve ever, or did you always just use Crunchyroll?
I had the app. I never had like
the service. I never used it. Right. Yeah. Verve is like out of commission too. Like they like gave up on that because it's so interesting how Crunchyroll just like Crunchyroll is like Eren Yeager. It's like the rumbling. It's just like everything's fucking. Well, we are killing all the services. It's really scary. Crunchyroll's not gonna have ads anymore. Like it's not gonna have ad viewing, so people that want to watch it with ads can't do that anymore. I mean, that never mattered to me because I would always pay for it, but it's interesting now. Like it
is interesting.
Yeah, a lot to think about with that. I guess we'll see. I'm actually like legit scared what Crunchyroll is gonna do to like Funimation Blu-rays. Like I feel like they're not gonna do them anymore.
Yeah.
I thought like when it first happened, when we first talked about it, I'm like, oh, they'll do them. But now I honestly don't know. It's like, it's so weird. Like when you download the Funimation app, there's like the first thing that pops up is like, go to Crunchyroll. It's like, God damn, this is really depressing. It's really sad. But nonetheless, I guess only time will tell to see how this plays out. And I guess there's only really one other. Well, I wanted to say this. Like, do you care about like E3 and stuff? Like, do you ever watch that when it like is?
I don't watch it, but
Okay.
I'll watch the highlights.
Yeah. Well, E3 is canceled this year because everybody makes fun of them and they're getting sad. And they were canceled like last year because of COVID, but they're not even doing it this year. Kind of like the Golden Globes and probably like the Oscars. If the Oscars cancel next year, that'll be crazy. Speaking of the Oscars, I wanted to talk about this in the beginning, but we got into the movies, but we got to talk about it. We got to talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock. Have you bear witness to this?
Sadly.
Yeah. Well,
it's honestly disgusting.
Yeah. It
had to be a black guy smacking another black guy.
I know. They had a Boondocks nigger moment on fucking TV. It's so embarrassing. It makes us look bad. I mean,
we look insane.
I know. It's Will Smith too. Like,
this dude casually just walked up, smacked him, sat back down. No security, did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone just continued on. Like, dude, shout out to Chris Rock, because if I was in that situation, things have not would have went that way.
I know. I would have tried to make like a joke, like to make fun of him.
I would have said some crazy shit, bro.
Yeah.
I would have said something insane. Like,
yeah.
He would have to get back up. I would say he would have to get back up.
Yeah. There were jokes on Twitter like people were like, oh man, if he mentioned August Alsina or made a joke about that, it would be over. But yeah, I think it's very good that Chris Rock didn't say anything, because if he did escalate it, then it would be more questionable who's in the wrong. But because he just kind of stopped and was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just keep going. Like, Will Smith just made himself look like a fool. No matter what the offensiveness of what Chris Rock said, it was very embarrassing for him. And it's kind of, it's weird for me to say this, but it's embarrassing for black people. He's making us look really bad. At least I feel that way. I don't know. Yeah. He's supposed to be kind of like, he's such like a personality that you like look up to, you know. He's it's like I was saying with Memento. Like, you never really know some people. You can't trust everybody. And he's a celebrity, you know. So like I was saying with Keanu Reeves, you can't even trust Keanu Reeves. You don't know what he's doing in his private life. And you don't know how Will Smith acts like when the cameras are off. But he snapped, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's always like that, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely a bad look.
It's an extremely bad look.
Yeah.
Watching it, I watched, because I'm into movies and stuff, so I was watching the Oscars live, because every single year, it's never been as crazy as this, but every year they do something stupid. So I'm watching it live, like getting ready to laugh at the Oscars, and I'm watching like a YouTuber, like they streamed, but they didn't have the Oscars on their screen. They just streamed like their audio, and like you had to sync up with them. And bro, watching their reaction to the Chris Rock thing is so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It was extremely funny. I will send you videos of their reactions to previous Oscars thing. The Oscars do something funny every single time. Like, do you know about Martin Scorsese like falling asleep during like Eminem's performance? Did you hear about that? No. Eminem was like doing a thing at the Oscars. He was playing Lose Yourself, but like the people at the Oscars don't give a fuck about that. So Martin Scorsese is sitting there like he's like falling asleep, and it's really funny. Like the camera cuts to him as he's like struggling to stay awake. It's just hilarious.
that's so dumb. Like, yeah, Eminem's gonna make this place lit. Like,
dude, why would you cut to Martin Scorsese? Like, if you're gonna cut to anybody, cut to like the young kids. Maybe Timothy Chalamet is singing along. Don't cut to Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, cut to someone who's actually invested and was having fun.
Yeah,
right. Let's not invest into a legendary fucking director snoozing at your show.
It was so funny.
I don't know what goes on in people's heads, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is great. This is great for sales, like for television. Martin Scorsese finds our show so boring.
Well, I think it was an accident. I think they cut to it not realizing that he's about to like fall asleep, and then they try to like cut away. Like, you need to see it for yourself. They cut very fast. They like cut away from it like extremely fast. But it's just really funny. And another thing, when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, it was really embarrassing. It was really scary and da-da-da-da. But, Will Smith was nominated for Best Actor. And Will Smith's never won an Oscar before. So this is like a big deal. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't really care because, I don't really trust Will Smith like as a person. I don't even like most of the movies he's in. So I don't give a fuck. But for him and for people who like Will Smith, it's like, yo, he's about to win an Oscar. Let's go, black people. And now it's just like, dude, if he wins this Oscar, we're fucked. Like, it's going to be so awkward. And that's what happened. It was so awkward. It was so like, oh my God. Like, Manny, when I was watching it with like the streamers that like I was watching, when he won the Oscar, the streamers were like, yeah, let's go, cringe. it was so fun. Like, I'll send you that video when they make that video, because they make like a compilation video, like where they splice in the best moments. I'll send you that when the day comes. And I'll send you the old ones because they're also very funny too. But yeah, it was and I don't know if you saw this, but like when Will Smith was doing his speech, like the movie that he won Best Actor for was a movie based on like Serena Williams' like dad. Yeah. So they cut to Serena Williams, but the camera kept cutting out, and it was like, yo, what's going on? So there was like an Oscars like loading screen. And then it showed Serena Williams, and it kept cutting out in between. Like, it was a glitch. And I was like, what's going on? Like, the Oscars don't do this. It was very weird when you saw it live. And after the fact, I realized Serena Williams' like nipple was like hanging out of her dress. So they were trying to like cut away from it. And it's like, oh my God. That's so, because you need to understand what we see on the TV is what shows up on the big screen, like in the like auditorium for all the people that are actually there. So like her nipple is like visible to everybody like in there, and they're like, yo, turn it off. And it's like, dude, no one recognizes it. We have to turn it back on. It's gonna look weird. No. And it's just like, it's like two people in the editing room like fighting each other. Like,
oh my
click
God.
the button. You need to watch it. It's like so funny. It's so like hilarious. While Will Smith is sitting there like, I want to be a vessel for love. It's just like, it's hilarious, man. It's so cringe. It's so good.
What a night, huh?
Yeah, it was literally like the best night of my life. Like, it was like the best day ever. And Manny, it was so fun watching the Oscars. Like, every single time they cut to the audience, like celebrities, people were mad awkward. Like, no one was smiling. Everyone was uncomfortable. Everyone wanted to go home. Like, it was so good, man. It was so good. I like, it was the best Oscars ever. I wanted to bring that up because I thought,
I didn't even know about all this extra shit going on.
Yeah. I guess
shit, though.
Yeah, I know, and it's hilarious, you know. It's funny because, like, you know, the joke that Chris Rock made, it's like, those are jokes. Like, do you know the context of like the joke? Like, yes.
Okay. He's balding.
Yeah. Despite like the fact that it might be a little offensive and this might be rude of me to say, and maybe this is like kind of like somewhat a little racist to say, but I feel like black people be clowning to that extent, you know?
Yeah.
Like wilding out and stuff. Like literally, like there's a whole show like about it. So it's like, it's interesting that Chris Rock like made that joke, and he's talking to like other black people thinking like, yeah, like it's okay. They know that like they'll find this funny. But it's like Will Smith, it's like he has white people DNA. Like he can't take a joke.
Yeah, so when he smacked them, like I was like, okay, but this whole time I haven't been on camera. I was doing something else while listening. Like I was like rating all the shows I haven't rated.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so now, but when he went up smacked them, I was like, okay, he just smacked the dude and sat down. He went up smacked the dude, sat down untouched. That's kind of like a dub for him, right? Because like he went up there, don't hear me out. He went up there and sat down untouched, and no one did anything, not even security. Like you have to be like that big of a guy to pull that off, right?
Right.
Like he pulled out, he did what he wanted to do and sat down. No, you can't do shit, right?
Right.
So I guess it's a dub for him. But then when he started yelling, I was like, now you look crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because like even if he went up, smacked him, and sat back down, and was just like smile on his face, it would have kind of looked like a power move for him. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that. But then he was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look crazy.
Yeah.
You look insane. Like if I was there, I would have been like, this guy.
Bro, that's what they were doing in the background. Did you see like the faces of the people behind him? Like they were laughing initially, and then when he starts going, they're oh. Yo, I'm gonna send you a picture right now. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a picture, like another funny thing. Give me a second.
And I got a question to ask you unrelated to this.
Okay. You can ask it right now.
So about your Cowboy Bebop movie rating.
Yeah.
And you're saying it was since it was a piece to a larger, it's a small piece to a larger thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that movie do you think a movie like that could be a 10 out of 10 if it's just a small piece to a larger piece? Or like higher than so?
Like any movie that is a small piece to a larger piece, is it capable of being a 10?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. In the specific sense of Cowboy Bebop, the movie is doing the same thing that the show is doing, and it's doing it in a in like a bite-sized way that's not as complete and like whole as the show is. So with this specific scenario, I do feel like the piece, the show, the movie being a piece of like the larger whole, like specifically what the movie is doing, it's doing the show but like smaller, you know? So that's why I feel that way. And I know ratings seem like very objective, and like if I give something a 7 and I don't give it a 10, it seems like bad. But it's not really bad for me to say that, you know? Like it's not.
No, I wasn't even asking for that. I was just like wondering, like, do you think that movie could be done better?
For what it's going for, no. I think it's perfect at what it's trying to do. But what it's trying to do is not one of the best things ever made.
I'm trying to think of like
you know,
is there like another show that's done something like this? I mean, have you seen the Trigun movie?
Yes.
I guess I'll ask you that next episode. Just watch that one.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I'm not like stressing over the rating. I was like, because when you said like a smaller piece to a bigger piece,
right? So
I was thinking like if there's like a movie that, or show, have you seen that a movie? Because for me, like,
I think Dragon Ball Super Broly is kind of like that. I really hold that movie in high regard.
What's the show called? The show with the mechas. The famous show.
Gurren Lagann.
No.
No?
The other one. Legendary show, mechas. Purple mecha.
Purple? Oh, Code Geass.
No.
What? What the fuck are you talking about? Purple?
The show with the main character's name is Shinji.
Oh, Evangelion.
Evangelion, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking because like that movie, that show's movie, even if it's like a piece of the show, like it for me, like it eclipses the show.
Yeah.
If you have like a movie like that,
a movie that eclipsed the show. Well, let me ask you this, without spoiling. I was under the impression that the movie was a sequel to the show, like it connects to the plot of the show. Is that something that you can divulge? Yeah, right. Like, is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. A movie that eclipse. This is a very good question that I might have to get back to you on, because I've never thought about this. But the first thing that jumps to my mind is Dragon Ball Super Broly, like that movie. But that's kind of a different scenario, because like the Dragon Ball movies are somewhat their own thing. Like they're not just like, hey, this movie ties into the story of the show. Like it has the same characters and it's the same universe, but usually the movies like service as like their own individual arc, you know? So an anime movie, as of now, I don't think there is a movie that eclipses a show. I don't think so. And the reason why is because a lot of shows are not trying to have the movie eclipse them. Like the movie is supposed to be kind of like a fun, I don't want to say, what's the word? The movie is like an addition to the show. It's like the DLC or something, you know? Yeah. That's a very good question. You know, maybe when I watch the Evangelion movie, I'll be able to answer that question, but I'll get back to you on that one.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. I was thinking of watching that next because I have the Blu-ray and I want to watch it. And I have no excuse.
Have you seen the show?
No. I need to watch it.
Oh yeah, I've seen this picture before, yeah. With this girl.
Yeah. It's so funny. But that's a very good question.
All right. Yeah, that's my question. What?
Yeah. I guess.
Anything else?
Anything else to talk about? Nothing anime related. Nothing has happened since then. They're making a JoJo video game. I know that I didn't bring it up like last episode because you're probably not going to play it because it's JoJo, but yeah.
I'm not happy. I don't want to get spoiled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the one
even that... I want to play the JoJo game that's out right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. I feel you.
I don't want to get spoiled on no stands.
No, nothing. Yeah. The trailer for part 6, part 2 came out, but I didn't watch it, but
yeah, I'm still just waiting. I know it's going to be like 3 parts.
I think it's going to be 3 parts. Yeah. Oh, Netflix. But I guess that's all we got for this one. That was pretty good. Oh, I didn't say this, but I put the podcast on Spotify and Apple now. So as I do these, I'm going to try and edit them so they're a little bit more palatable for like listening platforms. Because sometimes, like, I don't know, I leave in a lot of stuff that I could cut out, like some ums and maybe it'll be more cohesive without that. So yeah, just if you want to, I don't know, if you were interested in that, that's that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Terror in Resonance, Fist of the North Star, and Trigun. Those will be the 3 for next time.
Oh yeah, some Trigun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right.
Good episode.
Thank you very much, Manny. Yeah. How's Elden Ring? Before I go.
Elden Ring is hard.
It's hard. Yeah, definitely.
Elden Ring is hard. I'm getting shitted on.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. Those are the shows. Nice talking to you, buddy. I will see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time, bro.
All right. Deuces, my friend.
Yeah, see you.